retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
I have a feeling that the shirt that we ordered, is meant for girls, because if I had breasts, the words would be perfectly right where they're supposed to be. But because I'm not, then it's lower. You know what I mean?
Well, soon you'll have man boobs, and you'll be fine.
I will not have man boobs. I take my testosterone test about twice a year. As soon as the number dips, I'm start taking pills, bro. I ain't going down the estrogen route. You can kiss my ass.
Man boobs galore. What is happening here?
No man boobs. I got news for you.
Chat, Generation X Gaming is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. We're here live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. Episode 487. We're 13 episodes away from 500, and I still haven't decided what we're doing yet, Sarge. I don't know if I'm going to make 500 and then just stop. And we just stop, and then we start again. Remastered, Generation X Gaming remastered, and we start at 1. What do you think about that? Right, we go to 500.
Is that bothering you? Is this bothering you?
It doesn't bother me.
Bothering me.
Okay. At this point, you having a green screen, I mean, you could have got rid of it like 10 years ago.
I don't have anything cool in the background.
Yeah. You have a window.
I could use I want to do a whiteboard with a bunch of shit on it, like what's his face from the sports thing.
Well, no, heel versus babyface used to. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
From
he had the.
It's not part in the interruption. It's
no. It was the other one. What was the other one called? I used to watch it all the time.
He's got a chalkboard as a sports guy.
The old guy on the where he gives points out to random people and stuff like that. I can't remember the.
It's like a game show. If you make a good point, you get points.
Wolverine or someone will tell us about it. I can't remember who. I can't think of it. I used to watch it all the time. I haven't watched sports. I haven't watched sports in a good, like, diehard sport fan, 8-9 years. 8-9 years. I haven't done it. On today's show, Sarge, we're going to be talking about Disney World, Disney in general. We have a couple stories about Disney. We're going to be talking about Fortnite. We're going to be talking about PlayStation. What happened this past week is, everyone's through the roof. We're going to talk about the brand of Star Wars. Okay, the brand of Star Wars, a diminishing brand. Mind you, not just because of the Star Wars movies, but just what they're doing in video games and whatnot. We're going to talk about game mechanics. We're going to talk about Asha Sharma, the CEO. We're going to talk about Xbox and how they're doing or not doing. We're going to talk about what else we got here. We got Crimson Desert. We're going to talk a little bit about Crimson Desert. We're going to talk about Windrose a little bit. And we'll talk about a couple other stories along the way. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5 and watch the past broadcast. Don't forget, tomorrow, you guys hit the goal of 10 Super Chats that we started on Tuesday. And we're going to have an extra stream tomorrow on 30NSG, which is this channel right here, tomorrow morning. I think I'm going to start around 11 o'clock, and we'll go for like 2-3 hours or so, just like we do normally. Just it'll be 11 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock. But it might change, all depending on my schedule. Other than that, how you been, Sarge? What's the week?
I mean, I'm hanging in there. We got the M Day coming around the corner.
Yeah, and my birthday and Dad's birthday, and there's what Chad. Our birthdays either line up with Mother's Day, right? Because it's Mother's Day, and my birthday either falls before it, on it, or right after it, right? Because my birthday is May 12th, and it kind of shifts. Like think my birthday this year is on a Wednesday, I think, right? Is it Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah. And Mother's Day is Sunday, and Dad's is on Wednesday, and my wife's grandmother is the same day as my dad's, and then my cousin's on the same day as me, and then my nephew is. It's like we have like 7 or 8 birthdays all within like a week period of time.
That's because it's always a cold day in the fall, which is why you're born in the summer.
It's true, because they were bored.
That's right.
That's right.
Because you didn't have 4,000 channels.
Actual question.
People, I say this once or twice a year, but do you think that what is the number one contraception in the world?
I don't know.
No guess?
No. My brain's not here.
Television.
Is it?
Yes.
Television is the leading
is the number one source of contraception. Yes. Because if there's no power and there's no TV, there's a baby boom if it goes on too long.
Have you met people from Minnesota and Wisconsin?
Well,
they just need beer, and they're good.
That's fine.
All right, chat. Let's get to what we've been playing.
Is water moving? Is that what he says? He's moving?
He's moving. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's moving. Yeah. He's moving out. He's moving. He's buying a new house or whatever. So
he's in the middle of moving right now and he's watching us?
That's correct. That's correct. Dedication, my friend. We appreciate you, Water. What you been playing this week, Sarge?
Well, besides the normal RTSs that I'm pretty much in the trenches with, I did play probably maybe like 4 or 5 hours of Hell Let Loose last week because I found a group of people to play with, and I'm playing State of Decay 2 because I think after all the patches, it's stable. It's stable. And I like to play it.
I got in the game for 3 seconds,
and much more stable than it was. Much more stable than it was.
I was like, they'll fix it. It's only been 8 years.
They won't fix it, but it's still fun.
State of Decay 3.
I'll tell you what it is I think
3.
I think State of Decay has the closest kind of vibe that it gives you when you play the game, the eerie feeling that it might be real type of thing. Like they do it the best. Left 4 Dead kind of did it, but it was more cartoony. This one does a little bit more realistic.
You need to play. The visuals are not as good as State of Decay. You need to play a game. It's a single player game. It's made by one guy. Okay, it's on Steam. It's called
Surrounded.
Surrounded. Right? It's
Surrounded.
Everything that you want in State of Decay, but better. It actually runs better.
How is it better?
It's better. It's just a better game. It's made with love and tender care by one gentleman. One gentleman made the game, and he's adding multiplayer down the line. But it's gonna take him time because
he's by himself.
He's one dude. Yeah.
There's a fine line between how long you'll wait for a game before the next game comes out. You forget about your game. You know that, right?
Sure, and that's why your game needs to work on day one.
Oh, did you watch that Legendary Drops
video? We're gonna watch it tomorrow,
bro.
We're gonna watch it tomorrow,
bro. Dropping bombs, bro.
Yeah, good.
I put it in Discord.
I know you did.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Z said, "Are you gonna watch that?" And he said, "Too bad we have to wait till Monday to watch it." I said, "No, I have an extra stream tomorrow, so we're gonna watch it tomorrow."
Yeah, if that is true and that goes open, you could pretty much kiss all these fucking guys goodbye.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All the AAA guys are going to go down the fucking tubes, bro. So it could be, it's going to be the basic statement is shut up or put up. That's it.
Well, you have to have. This is why we say make a game, sell a game, right? You only have a finite time to capitalize on what you're putting out. And if you put out minimal viable product and you're going to fix your game 6, 8, 12, 18 months down the road, you miss that, right? We're actually going to have a conversation. We're talking about what we've been playing, but we have a conversation later with Windrose because they're selling a lot, but we'll go over that. Meanwhile, what else have you been playing? Did you say everything you played?
Well, it's Company Heroes 3. Company Heroes 2, Dawn of War 2.
You went back to.
Yeah, I went back because I was comparing it with playing with a guy online. He was trying to explain something to me, so I was playing both. Dune, Battle for Arrakis.
Okay.
Hell Let Loose, State of Decay. It was a busy week.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it tomorrow on the stream. Jesse, I have no stories planned for tomorrow. I got to come up with a thumbnail because I don't have an actual story.
In exactly 10 hours after you'll have plenty to talk about. Someone's going to drop bomb. You're dropping bombs.
Fridays is always I always have plenty of stuff to talk. I'm like, oh, what are we going to talk about next week?
No, like when you fire somebody on Friday, they put all the stories out on Friday so nobody can remember them by the time Monday comes. All the bad shit that goes down.
Yeah. I've been playing a couple different games this week. I played Windrose, obviously. We'll talk about that down a little bit later for story. But Windrose, love it. I'm about 61 hours into the game. I stopped playing, obviously, Crimson Desert, not because I didn't like it. I love it. I'm going to go back and play that. But I went back and just put a whole bunch of time into Windrose. Just upgraded to my big ship. I got like a frigate. It's got 32 cannons on it, and I'm just destroying other ships now, like the smaller ships, but the level 12s and 15s are giving me. I had a nice battle the other day on stream, so we updated that. I got a couple of, I want to say about 2 or 3 missions left for the main storyline that I know of in Windrose. What a great game. What a fun game. I built like a little town. The building in that game is phenomenal. Like, it's so good. And there's 15 guys working on this game, and it's very good for what it is. Combat could be better, obviously. But overall, pros over cons, Windrose is a nice game. Another game I started playing because it's actually working now for me. I had to delete it and then reload it again, which is Marvel Rivals. I started playing the Blood Hunt, which is the PvE version, which was in the game last year, but now they've kind of made it better because now you can. So you're still getting the cards that you get while you're going through the mission. It's like a strike, basically, like what like Destiny would be, right? So you pick from 6 characters: Thor, Punisher, Jeff the Land Shark, Squirrel Girl, and I'm missing one. Oh, Blade. All right. So that's the whole lineup that you can go through, right? As you go through, you kill zombies, you kill like elite guys, and they start dropping like, engrams, basically. And then you pick up the engrams, and so it gives you a slew of weapons, slew of armor, slew of attachments for your overall character. And then at the end of the thing, you insert your best gear, okay, which gives you bonuses, obviously, crit hit, whatever. Then after, you can also upgrade your total point stats. And then while you're in the game, you get cards as you level up. And then you use those cards to stack, boss damage or freeze damage, chain lightning damage and stuff like that. So,
but do you have to communicate with the other people to know what kind of bonuses you have, so you can actually do something with it, or no? It's just individual.
Maybe on the super hard level. I'm only playing on hard right now. I played normal. I played hard just to get the experience and stuff. Real quick matches. You could do normal matches. You're done in like 5 minutes. If you do hard matches, you're done in like 12 to 15 minutes for the strikes or whatnot. Some guys are so powerful, you just plow through the stuff, and you're just building up over time. Obviously, once you get to hard or insane level, like the level 3, 4, 5, 6, it gets more intense, and you fight different bosses and stuff. I'm not there yet. Cool. I haven't played the new mode, which is they just added today or yesterday, which is maybe it was today, where you're playing the Avengers now. It's a game mode where it's like 6v1, so it's six Avengers versus the one Loki, leading up to like the original movie Avengers. So there's a 6v1, sort of like Evolve back in the day. I don't know how it's balanced. Some people say it's really boring. Other people say, oh, it's a lot of fun. So I'll have to play it myself and see. But yeah, so I played Marvel Rivals. I'm playing Windrose. Gonna check out tomorrow. We're not playing it yet, but we're gonna check out the Fortnite Star Wars stuff that they're putting in the game, and we'll talk about that in a second. What else have I been playing? I started playing. There was one other game, and I can't think of it right now. Drawing a blank. But anyway, those are the 2 games that I'm mostly playing, which is Marvel Rivals, and Windrose has really got me hooked right now. So, and we're gonna go back to Crimson Desert.
Yeah, Windrose is just your time out from Crimson Desert.
That's it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's my palette cleanser to Crimson Desert. But now my
Isn't it-
palette
isn't
cleanser
it-
Windrose is going to be Crimson Desert.
Isn't it interesting how I would be interesting to know how many people are buying the Black Flag re-release as opposed to the early release of Windrose. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
actually, I can
because
give
the
you a
early
stat.
because the early release sales for Windrose is pretty high considering what it is, and that just says that people want to play a pirate game. But then you have
Well, this is why we talked about it last
the
week
re-release.
or 2 weeks ago when I said I think it's genius they dropped it before they announced the Black Flag, because now they're getting they want that pirate experience. So Windrose has sold 1.5 million early access to their game, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag, at least on Steam, has wishlist, which is like pre-ordering, right? Wishlist, where you're just checking the box saying I'm interested in it. 1 million, right? So 1 million people are interested in the remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. They're not getting a dime off of me because they have to prove to me they actually can make a game again, right? And this is not proving that. This is just showing me that they can make a remake of a game that they've already made, right? They have to make a game that actually works
for full price.
for full price.
A remake of a game that's full price.
Yeah,
With a $200 deluxe.
That's correct. Yeah.
All I have to say is mental disorders all around.
All right, let's get to the top stories here. Like we're speed running.
I mean,
we've ever got to what
they do realize the game came out already, right? The game's like almost a decade old. Yeah, over a decade old. No one was getting all excited for Oblivion. I mean, they all got excited. You want to know why? Because it was on Game Pass and discounted. But Ubisoft releases their game.
Yeah, it was discounted. Yeah,
with deluxe edition $200, and everyone's supposed to get all hot and bothered by it. I'm like, you guys are mental.
Sorry, Travis says.
So you're okay playing. You're okay.
Travis
playing,
says the deluxe is $60. The collector's is $200.
Even better.
Yeah.
So you're excited about a 13-year-old game that's, I guess, redone for full price, and you're excited, and you're excited by hardware that's old but also increased in price by 30%. You guys are excited about all this stuff. It's almost kind of like someone drank too much Kool-Aid.
Well, I'm gonna go to let me find we had one for. Oh, that's the one I'm missing. I'm missing the one where inside the story, the guys that worked on Skull and Bones, okay, they worked on it for 10 years, 12 years, whatever it was for Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
And now that studio is now working on Black Flag, which is funny because
You mean the remake?
When they first started making Skull and Bones, it was supposed to be Black Flag multiplayer is what it was supposed to be. That's what they were working on. But then that got shifted it got switched 7 times, but then it became Skull and Bones. So now this studio is now a support studio for the people actually making like Black Flag, the remake. And so it's like they've gone full circle. They went from working on the remake of Black Flag or the multiplayer of it to making Skull and Bones, and then being finished Skull and Bones to go back on Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's like, can these guys just leave them alone? Let them do their thing.
Well, before they were governmentally obligated, that's why they were stuck.
Yeah, the government grant from Singapore.
You owed them the game. So the part that always seems to elude people is you think there's just a finite or an infinite amount of guys who know how to code and make a game, and they just move from game to game, so you're going to get quality game all the time. It doesn't work that way. Right? The hiring and firing of all these people across the entire industry dilutes the talent pool, and you don't end up with quality products because people are moving and moving again. It just doesn't work. You can't work that way.
So the Ubisoft studio that spent 10 years making Black Flag spin-off Skull and Bones comes full circle back around making the remake of Black Flag. Again, they're not the main studio. They're just a support studio helping out the thing. I have to admit this. The game does look good, right? It was a very good game when it came out 13 years ago.
Saying a game looks good in 2026 is basically like saying it's got a pretty. It's supposed to. It's supposed to look good. It's 2026.
No, they made changes to it because it's not a 1-for-1. They've added more story. They've changed the combat system a little bit inside of it. So, like I said, when I'm saying it looks good, it does look good, but Ubisoft has lost all trust for me, and I'm not buying this full price, right? I'm not giving them a dime I don't even buy remakes and remasters already. So
Does no one remember the list of stuff that Ubisoft has done the last 4 years? Like,
well,
what are you excited about? I'm excited for someone to take their place. That's what I'm excited for. I'm excited for AA independent guys who are foaming at the mouth, who sense blood in the water, who see these companies are teetering and knock them out and replace them. We need an entire new sweep of AAA companies. I'm waiting. I'm waiting patiently.
We have these guys as well. Where we have the Black Flag. We have one for the Assassin's Creed. The next Assassin's Creed, they're having problems already, right? For the next one, it's coming out in 2027. But the problem is they're losing, I think, 50 employees, if I'm not mistaken. I had this and I deleted it by accident, so I have to find it again. Give me a second. Here it is. So Assassin's Creed director, okay, leaves Ubisoft, right? So there's that. So you have the Assassin's Creed Hex game director leaves Ubisoft. All right. So amidst the continued changes of the studio and the game direction, Assassin's Creed Hex game director, okay, has left Ubisoft. Richard announced that his news on LinkedIn over a weekend, revealing that he was moving to an indie studio, right? Isn't it crazy to me that these people that work for these companies, they're like, I'm out. He probably saw what happened to Expedition 33, the ex-Ubisoft guys that went to go make another game, and they won all these awards. He's like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I don't want to work here anymore. I don't know if that's true. He says, this is the beginning of a new chapter. I'm joining Servo Games as the game director, he said, an indie studio, the industry veterans aligned around a shared vision of the industry experience creation and strong complementary skill set. Richard had been the game director for Ubisoft since 2017. Prior to that, he spent 7 years at Warner Brothers Games as a game director. Now, remember, just a couple weeks ago, Julian, who was the game director for Division, he left to go to EA, right? So he's the new guy because Vince Zampella died over the holiday, right? Got in a car crash, and now he's being replaced by Julian, another Ubisoft employee. So a lot of these guys are leaving Ubisoft.
Yeah, let's not say car crash. Let's say self-inflicted idiocy. Okay, he didn't crash into somebody else. He crashed his own car, acting like a fool.
He was in a car. It crashed.
Yeah. The he caused. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So there's that. Then they have Ubisoft losing another. We have 50 employees, I believe. That's what this other story is. 50 developers. So we have Assassin's Creed. Hex loses 50 developers as the game targets a 2027 release. Okay, so again, this is the new Assassin's Creed, right?
We're targeting 27, bro.
Black Flag is a old game redone. That's not a new game. You don't get credit points from me to be like, oh, yay, they did Black Flag after 13 years, right? They were going to do a multiplayer, failed to do it, made Skull and Bones, the first quadruple A game, by the way, okay, which was half-ass attempt, was broke, and they fixed it over the next year, 18 months. And now their next game, which was Shadows that came out, was also not very good. And now this one is the next game that comes out. So to win me back, okay, you got to do things. You have to do two things in a row. You have to make a game, sell a game, and that game has to do well. And then I notice you and go, all right, there's one. And then the next one comes out, and I go, you made a game, sell a game? I check. And it's good. It's two. And I'm like, okay, now I trust you again. And now I'm interested in what you have to say or make.
You do realize that quadruple A just means the amount of money that you spent, not that there's any quality involved in it, right?
Correct.
Anybody can spend obscene amounts of money and give you a blank check and say, here, run with it. But did you come out with an actual product is the question.
No, minimal viable product is what they come out. Right?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Approximately 50 developers working on Assassin's Creed Hex have been taken off the project as the new Assassin's Creed leadership team makes changes. The decision to scale back the 50 developers of Assassin's Creed Hex came last week, just a couple of days after the announcement that the unannounced project name Alter had also been canceled. So they canceled another game. Right? It's understood that around 50 developers have been moved from Hex to Ubisoft's inner project team, which is a home for developers who are not assigned to a project at Ubisoft, according to sources familiar with the matter. So they're not fired. They've just been removed from that game and put onto some other project, right? The members of inter-project teams are required to secure a project at Ubisoft within 3-month period, or they could face redundancy. That's a nice way of saying you're fired, right?
That's correct.
At first mentioned, okay, it says who began overseeing the Assassin's Creed franchise earlier this year has decided to remove the cat companion feature from Assassin's Creed Hex. Instead, the game will take more grounded approach to witchcraft. I'm sorry, just saying that out loud.
You would have to know what they're talking about for that sentence to make any sense.
It's witchcraft. Witchcraft is not grounded. First of all, it's witchcraft, so you can do whatever you want. There's not like a set skill. If you can change James Bond, rules. You can change witches. Okay, I'm just that's all I'm saying.
Cat companion.
Of course, there's rules.
Yeah,
of course, there's rules, but when does that stop them to just change the rules to whatever they want to do?
But you do remember when Yves Le Bon.
This is the same. Hold on a second. This is the same group that made a Black Samurai that didn't exist.
Well, no, he existed.
No, there's no actual proof of him actually being a samurai.
The guy existed. What profession he was during that time period is embellished.
Okay,
it's embellished. But what I will say is the fact that you remember the breakdown he talked about, right? He says, well, we have 5 different games going on, 5 different divisions. We reevaluated our teams. We spread them out. So there was 5, remember? So now 1 died, right? Then he said that the guys who were not working on the team, which was like the backup guys over here, were added.
No, the guy that died didn't work for Ubisoft. He worked for EA.
No. We're talking about what's going on with the teams.
Oh,
right? The teams, the game is being canceled, right? It's Ubisoft. They canceled the game. There was 5. They canceled 1. Those guys had to be shifted over. And they said that the other group of guys who don't work on a game, like the reserves came up and are now working on a game. That means that's the next game that they want to be pushing out the next couple of year or so. Like that's what's happening, right? So we're down to 4.
I'm not gonna get in this with you, Travis. It was proven that he wasn't. It's a story. It's like a story of him becoming a samurai, but there's no actual facts of him being a samurai. We already discussed this last year.
He's about as real as Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai, Travis. That's about how real he is.
All right. Instead of the game, it will also take more grounded approach to witchcraft, which is also the game's protagonist understanding the science and chemicals, etc. For instance, she knows how to make a smoke bomb, which is ordinary citizens make it look like she can disappear. Okay. At the time of writing this, Assassin's Creed Hex has penciled in for June of 2027 release. Do you think it makes it to June release?
What year?
2027, next year.
Hex coming out next year?
Yeah, June.
No shot.
But sources speculate that the recent decision to scale back by 50 developers is an attempt to stay under the budget and potentially delay the game to holiday. There you go. Holiday of 2027. So there's no shot it's going to make it to June, right? My question is, all of a sudden, they want to be under budget. Before they're like, let's go over budget. Let's go over budget.
You do realize that they don't know what that means. Like have we not seen enough of this to go by just to make the assumption that they don't have an accountant?
Right.
Like somebody says, hey, here's your budget.
Again.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's your budget. This is the budget you have. The budget is for over what they have to say 7 years, bro. They have to. That way, when they make it out early in 5, they look good on paper, right? So they say we have enough money for 7 years, which they don't. And they say we're going to go through with this. Nobody's factoring, like they don't check back every 6 months and say, hey, did we do overtime? How much money did we spend? Where are we? Like, you know what I mean? Like they just put a number on it. They go 180 million. And that's it. And then whatever happens between now and when the release date happens. They don't continue the budget. It boggles the mind, bro. Why don't you just scale back? It's okay. And I'm using this as a nice term, not the bad term. It's okay to make a AA game with a AAA company. You know what I mean? Like it's okay just to make a video game that's fun and well put together that actual people want to play. That way, when you get reserves of money, you can make another decision about what you want to expand on instead of this constant battle of budgets that are completely exploding and they cannot make back, right? I still want to know who's funding them. What guy has got pockets so deep that they can watch the failure of 19 games in a row and they knock on his door?
hey, Tom, do you want to invest in our game? Here's the list of stuff we want to do. And he is just rich and mental. And he just goes, I love it. Another 100 million. Like what kind of reserve money do these guys have to keep giving into it? I don't get it, man.
Well,
I don't get it.
Real quick, Sarge, look at this. I forgot to show you this on the people that went from making Skull and Bones 10 years, right? Down here, them helping out. Hold on. It goes into how many studios are helping. I think there's 15 studios. Is this the right article? Yeah. So in the production, the full roster includes this group that moved over from the Singapore group to the Black Flag Resynced. Okay, so Resynced these are in charge of production. The full roster includes Ubisoft Barcelona, Ubisoft Belgrande, Ubisoft Blue Bipe, Ubisoft Bordeaux, Ubisoft Burrest, Ubisoft. I can't pronounce half of these things, right? But 13 studios. This is way bigger.
Yep.
This is way bigger than Battlefield.
It's like forming the Justice League to make a video game. Like, what are you guys
they got
doing?
They got so many people. Like, we're trying to keep under budget. Right?
Yeah,
they got the whole squad.
Yeah, but are they taking like 2 guys or 3 guys, the ones who are sitting around playing like Raid Shadow Legends and not doing anything? They called those guys in from those different countries. Like, that's like 9 countries, bro. It's 9 studios for 9 countries.
I would have to look into each studio and how many employees they have, and if it's a full scale from each of the studios. That's a lot of studios for one.
Can't be.
It's got to be a lot of. That's a lot of studios.
It can't be
for one remake.
Yeah,
game.
but it can't be like the full group from each of the countries. It can't be. It has to be like hand-selected guys that they like. We take 1 guy from here, 2 guys.
All I know
here,
is,
and they band together to form the dev team. Like, no.
I'm not going to be playing the game when it comes out. So one of you guys in chat are going to have to show me the list of credits and how many countries. And 5 hours later, when you're done with the credits, let me know.
Like if I see, like I watched when we watched, I forget which game we watched the credits for. It's like 5,000 names. Like, did each of these guys get paid like $30? Like, there's no way. There's no way you can pay off that many freaking people for this.
The Star Wars game that we watched, the Star Wars game that we did, it was like 55 minutes long because we watch all credits. Kingard says he was catered around to laugh and as his friends while he also carried his weapons, unless a random white guy that got disgraced by Japanese now knows more about the Japanese history. Look, I don't want to debate this, right? The guy who did the Assassin's Creed thing literally just made up stuff and changed the Wikipedia thing. There was a whole bunch of things that went on, right? I'm not going to debate this. You guys can have a nice little time debating this.
Listen, it doesn't matter that he was a black samurai and they embellished.
Yeah, I don't care.
It matters.
I'm talking about Ubisoft and saying they're trying to stay grounded, but yet they pick something that's so that was the whole point of me bringing up the Assassin's Creed Shadows thing, right? I don't care. You guys can do whatever you want with the history of the stuff.
Like legit, Chris.
When they say they're grounded, right? When they say grounded, and then they made Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm just laughing because nothing about that. They had the wrong trees. There were so many things that were wrong with the grounded of it. You know what I mean? So that was the whole point of bringing that up.
It's like making a game for Charlie's Angels and saying they're real.
Yeah, right. All right. The next thing I want to talk about.
And Mo is Bosley.
All right. The next thing I want to talk about, this is weird, right, Sarge? Because we're getting into Disney.
All of this is weird. Everything that's in the news of last week is weird.
487 episodes has been weird. So there's this stuff going around with Disney World, right? Josh D'Amaro, the new CEO, they started talking about stuff that's happening in the parks. And everyone, when you go, I'm a person when I go on vacation and when I go to the theme parks and stuff like that, I don't really pull my phone out to record or take pictures. I take a family picture or a snapshot of a couple things. I don't watch the fireworks through the phone. You know what I mean? I don't watch the stage show through the phone. I take the phone, I put it in my pocket, and I watch.
You don't have people show you they're at a concert and they go, look how awesome it looks. Look at my seats. Look how I'm watching the concert. I'm like, you're watching the concert through your phone? Like, you're 7 rows back. Put the fucking phone down and watch the concert. You're there.
Right. So
you're there.
What's happening now is Disney has woken up from this time lapse in the world being in the wrong timeline. And they said, even though they've taken everything about the parks so my wife hates this because when we go to a park, you got to make reservations. You got to make reservations on your phone. And while you're standing in line, you're making your next reservation for your next thing. So you're constantly
You're not living in the moment at all.
Yeah, you're
just constantly making reservations.
Right. Before you go up to a machine, take your ticket, put it in the thing, grab your ticket and go, I have a fast pass. Now you got to schedule and do this and order stuff and all this. So all of a sudden they're like, hey, the guests are on their phone too much. So now they're thinking of doing a ban, okay, of people.
They're putting a band together or a band?
Yeah, they're restricting. A band, not a band. A band.
Not a band. A band. Like
a band,
no more.
Yeah, like band hammer, like a band.
Okay.
So Disneyland cracks down. It's Disneyland right now, not Disney World. Okay, cracks down on guests with sweeping new restrictions, sparking backlash. Okay,
A restriction on what?
What?
A restriction on what?
Phones.
What
I just led up to this whole thing about yes.
So wait, the ban is I can't use my phone in the park.
Yeah, hold on a second, right?
Stop.
So Disneyland Resort Anaheim, California is cracking down with the guest code of conduct targeting surge in ride disruptions. Okay, the changes outline a recent operation briefing detailed of Mickey Visit blog are aimed to improving reliability across increasing complex attractions. Guest behavior accounted for 13% of the ride shutdowns in fiscal year 2025, up from 10% of historical average, prompting new regulations according to the director of attractions. Okay. One of the rules getting a lot of attention is it's a phone policy nicknamed Stow It, Don't Show It, as the Disney Fanatic blog reported. Cast members conduct visual checks and will not dispatch ride vehicles if a phone is visible, according to the same source. Okay. So handheld filmmaking is no longer permitted. So even if you have like a GoPro on you or stuff like that. So a lot of content creators are like, what does this mean? Right? What does this mean if I'm in the park? Because they banned selfie sticks. You can't bring selfie sticks in the park anymore. You can't bring like a whole rig anymore. Like when you're filming, like all these
People
bloggers
are bringing a whole rig.
Yeah, well, that's their livelihood. The YouTubers that film the parks and stuff like that. So now everyone's like kind of freaking out. They're like, what's happening here? It says the rules being enforced on high motion, technology sensitive attractions like Mickey. They don't want people dropping their phones, basically, is what they're saying. They don't want, people holding their phone up in the air, the ride moves and they drop their phone and now they have to stop the ride or whatever. That's what they're saying. But there's another thing going on where they might stop content creators and bloggers and stuff walking around, because what's happening is a lot of people that are walking around the park their immersion is being broken because everyone's walking around with a goddamn phone in their hands and the camera and the lights and they're talking to live chat and all this stuff. So now Disney's like, maybe we should do something about this, right? Maybe we should do something about this.
It's too late now. It's too late. Yeah. Before you should have did that. You can't start making rules now. Everybody in the park's got a fucking podcast, and now you want to stop it?
This particular story is about not bringing your phone out on rides like a roller coaster, holding it up, taking a selfie and stuff like that. They won't move the ride until you move, which then slows down the process of the line, by the way, right? So if you have your phone out, they'll be like, we're waiting for you. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be. It's very interesting to see the switch that's happening right now with Disney.
What are we talking about, bro? Disney's in the shitter. They are like 3 feet from being suffocated by their stupidity, and this is their attack plan to increase revenue, is to get rid of the people who publicize for them for free and get rid of their phones. What are we talking about?
Right. This particular story is just the don't usually bring your phone out. The other story is about they're trying to diminish all the rigs and stuff that are coming in the park. So that's one thing, right? So Disney's having a lot of problems, right? Josh D'Amaro's trying to change some stuff at the parks. They're and then here's my issue, right? Growing up, Sarge, Star Wars is posted everywhere, right? Like we had episodes 4, 5, and 6. And you would see the toys, right? You would see it on lunch boxes and you would see it on stickers and you would see it on. We had video games of the Star Wars stuff. We had offshoot stuff. They made the Monopoly board games when, once episodes of Phantom Menace and stuff came out, they started putting board games of, licensing of Star Wars. Star Wars now in 2026, okay, is are you frozen or are you just really good at I think Sarge is frozen. Yeah, he's not that good at standing still. We'll have to wait for Sarge. I don't even know if he can hear me right now. There he is. He came back to us. Welcome back, Sarge. So Star Wars brand is just it's like a loose doggy door right now, right? They're just like, what you want to use Star Wars? You can use Star Wars. So what we have going on here is I gotta mute it, but I'm gonna show you this. This is Power Wash Simulator 2. Now I'm not hating on Power Wash Simulator. I'm talking about the brand of Star Wars. Okay, so we have Star Wars in Power Wash Simulator 2. Okay, so now your biggest fantasy in the world, where you wanted to pressure wash Tatooine, Luke Skywalker's moisture farm, you can go do that. You can clean the Star Destroyer, okay, and clean some X-Wings and whatnot in the game, okay? Remember when I was talking about when Star Wars teamed up with Destiny, and I was like, this is hurting the brand of Star Wars and Destiny all at the exact same time, right? Because you kind of just put it out there, and you're like, why? Why does Destiny could have been Star Wars on its own, but now they've teamed up with Star Wars, which kind of diminishes Star Wars and also the brand that you have there. Then on top of that, we have Star Wars Monopoly, right? Now, obviously, Star Wars Monopoly has been around for 20, 30 years now, the actual board game and stuff like that. But now we have Star Wars Monopoly. And it's uncanny how much it looks like Fortnite, right? It actually looks like the figurines that I have from the Infinity Wars from with Disney, right? Which it literally looks like the exact same models that they used for the Disney Infinity stuff. So now we have Star Wars Monopoly. Now we have Star Wars and Power Wash Simulator 2. Right? And then from this, tomorrow, we have the Star Wars. We have Star Wars Fortnite, right? This was a big thing that was announced last year, that Fortnite, you could take the Star Wars, they were giving the whole license that you could build whatever you wanted in Star Wars with the vehicles, the characters, the special powers, the lightsabers, and the music. Okay. You can actually use John Williams music and stuff in here. Okay. Oh, that's another thing, Sarge. We'll get to that in a second. So tomorrow, you too can get into Fortnite and play technically Battlefront 3, even though it's not Battlefront, but three specific people that make content for Fortnite were licensed out, and they got permission to make Jakku, Tatooine, and whatnot, and Scarif, I think it was. So now there's 3 maps that are official, that they were made by, so you can actually fight. So what's happening here, it says Fortnite, and it says new accounts, linked rewards, right? Clone Wars shop release, so Ahsoka is now going to be in the game. Star Wars games, like just anyone can make a game now starting tomorrow. Like you can go on and make your own board and whatever, right? They have Galactic Siege, which is like a Battlefront. We have Escape Vader, which is sort of like Jason Voorhees chasing you and trying to escape, trying to get away from Darth Vader type of thing. And then we have Star Wars Droid Tycoon. You guys know what a Tycoon game is. You click a button, you get some stuff, you spend the money on the thing, you get an upgrade, and then you click the button. The Tycoon thing, right? That's what it is. Then you have Lego Fortnite Odyssey happening, which is thematic to Grogu and Mando, or Mando and Grogu. You have Mandalorian and Grogu Watch Party, which comes in on May 19th. They get to watch 10 minutes of the movie that no one's going to go watch, okay? Inside of Fortnite, you can go watch 10 minutes of the movie inside Fortnite. Then you get Mandalorian Pen and Ink shop release, and then you get the Q&A with Jon Favreau on May 26th, okay? So they're doing, like, advertisement and stuff.
Do you believe that shoving more Star Wars stuff into your face is going to heal the damage that's been done?
No, I think it does more damage than anything.
Like you're not even allowing the corpse to cool down before you are throwing it around again. Just they think that if they bombard you with enough of the marketing of just Star Wars, that something will stick in your head and you'll want to go see the movie because of it. And I think at this point, people are just so done with what's been done to them in the last decade with Star Wars that they don't care. Like, don't you realize how there was nothing for a while, and now you're getting a list of stuff that's everything? Like everything.
Yeah.
Right? The video game, the car racing game, the Monopoly game. We're going to do this. Look at our roadmap for the next month of just stuff that's happening within Fortnite. Like, bro, just let it go for a little bit. Let people heal just a little bit. Let them heal.
Altern, I was just going to say that, right? I feel like Star Wars now is that girl you knew in high school. We all knew one girl in high school, and you're like, she's getting passed around. Okay? That's what Star Wars is right now. Star Wars is the girl in high school that got passed around that you're like, yeah, don't talk to her. She's got herpes. Okay? Like, that's what Star Wars is, right?
Yeah,
Star
from
Wars.
one of you. Yes. From one of you.
Right. So Fortnite's new partner, Star Wars games, are bad. Look for both Fortnite and Star Wars, right? They look bad for both of them. So this gentleman look who it is. This gentleman, Morgan Park. That's right. Morgan Park has an article.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Welcome back.
And I actually agree with him in this article, okay? Because it's not actually about reviewing a video game. It's about the brand damaged, okay, for Star Wars. So Morgan Park, if you guys don't know Morgan Park, I have a song. You want to hear it? Here we go. No, it's actually on Spotify. You can go check it out. Okay. It says, young enough to have plenty of Fortnite hours under my belt, but old enough to remember when Epic made Dude Bro cover shooters an older brother favorite arena shooter. Right? I do miss those days. He says, last week I drove down to a fancy studio in Los Angeles to play Fortnite and all other stuff. Okay. He says, what I was there to see fell somewhere between official community and collection of Star Wars games made by Unreal Engine and Fortnite. But by the studio that makes Fortnite stuff for a living. They were commissioned by Epic in cooperation with Disney to showcase what's possible in the new Star Wars toolkit, right? So they were licensed out. So the missions that you're playing tomorrow are licensed things, and they worked with Disney to put these things in the game to make them as close as possible to the actual thing, okay? On both fronts, it was unimpressive day of marketing. Alongside a mix of press and content creators played hours of it, okay? He says, Galactic Siege, a riff on classic Battlefront. Now, I said this when they first announced it. I said, this is why Battlefront 3 is not happening, right? Battlefront 3 is not happening because Disney's like, why are we going to do EA when we could just team up and we can have the community make Battlefront? Let's pay a small little group of people to make something to show people what they can do, and then we'll just have the community make Battlefront for us, right? And that's exactly what's happened there, right? He says an indie game where you hold left click and buy droids to farm money. And then he says Escape from Vader, a co-op horror game where you avoid Darth Vader very easily. Okay. So basically what he's saying, okay, is that all of this money put towards Star Wars inside of Fortnite, but it's all just garbage. It's all garbage inside of the thing itself.
It's just because it's content, bro. It's content.
Right.
The name of the game is to have something that keeps you inside the product. That's all this is. That's all this is.
He says here, I do wish there was grindable upgrades for the Force users and didn't include balance, obviously, boost to speed. Says so if the way the game is, if you're the best one, you get leveled up faster and then you become a Jedi, and then you have, you get more speed, more boost, more health. So you just the rich keep getting richer in this, because it's not really a game that's in depth. It's just a quick arcade type style of game, right? And as you see, this is what it looks like. You got the UI of Fortnite on the screen. You're playing Star Wars. Okay. He says, what I don't like about a Galactic Siege, it has more to do with the escapable Fortnite qualities. The gunplay is less than excellent. The battlefield is padded with laughable, incompetent bots, and the screen is packed with ugly Fortnite UI elements that serve no purpose in the context.
So just be nice about it. Just call it, it's for kids. Is that the nice way of saying it? That's the nice way of saying it.
At one point, I ran to the back of the battlefield and witnessed bots spawned as default Fortnite Battle Royale dudes before suddenly popping into Stormtrooper mode. And strange for Epic and Disney to go so far into providing tools and assets to lore-accurate blasters for Star Wars games just for the limitations of the Unreal Engine Fortnite tool to still be apparent. I walked away with plans to fire up a real Battlefront at home. right? So it basically didn't give him any. He's just like, I'll just go play Battlefront, right?
No, but the most important part of that statement is he says playing that made him want to go play Battlefront.
Right. Yeah.
So what that tells you is there's still a piece of the population who wants to see a decent Star Wars game. We all do.
Here's the tycoon game. This is what you're going to do.
Is this whack-a-mole? Yeah.
This is where you just mine stuff, and then you get better weapons, and then you farm faster, and then you build stuff and make it bigger, and so on and so forth.
That's just mindless, bro.
Yeah,
it's mindless.
All right, and then there's the Vader Escape from Vader. Okay, where basically you're running around and you just have to get away from Vader as Vader's trying to kill you, right?
Well, why are you going to shoot at him if you're trying to get away from him?
Well, you have to survive. You have to survive as long as possible.
So put somebody else in front of you. That's all they have to do. What's he sneaking around for? It's Vader.
I'm assuming he can't move fast because he's got the thing in his hand. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. So it says developer Beyond Creative is going for an alien isolation type of thing. Okay, ventilation shafts, steam pipes can also slow Vader's advance, but navigating around the slow bastard, so it's trivial from the jump and then little point. The atmosphere is okay, but the official Vader sound effects are a big lift, but the setting of the bar quite low. Again, really, really dumb. Then there's the integration. Okay, he says that the target audience for Fortnite or anything. He says, let alone these superfluous modes, but is what to expect in the tie-in games from now on. They certainly lost the charm, ones that grew up with. Okay, so for sure, most were trash. But shout out to my dad for paying $50 for the Fantastic Four 2005 for the PlayStation 2. But at least that boasted production values such as voice acting, bespoke UI, and they were often made by experienced studios that aspired to make a good game despite the shitty budget, right? Extremely tight deadline.
But do you see how the pendulum has swung? The entire time they were throwing money on top of money with not a plan in sight, in order to create content that didn't sell multiple times. And then they lost money multiple times. And so now in their mind, they can't spend that money, or they're unwilling to, in order to put any kind of effort into the actual product. And so now it's just a half-ass attempt to make content to fill the void while they think about what else they're going to do. They did it to themselves.
Right.
They did it to themselves.
The problem here is, game companies, look at what Mind's Eye did, right? Mind's Eye tried to make a video game, but make a platform to get it in so people could make video games for them. Battlefield, EA, they made Battlefield 6 to get it in so you, the creator, can make games, right? Roadblocks. The biggest popular thing on Roadblocks is a guy who made a 15-year-old kid that made the farm thing inside Roadblocks. Minecraft, make your own stuff. Fortnite, make your own stuff. So Disney's not even putting the effort in anymore of saying, yeah, you want to make Star Wars? Go make a Monopoly Star Wars. You want to go make Star Wars? Let's put Star Wars, because they paid $1.5 billion, right? Now they're in the market. They might try to buy Epic. Josh Tomorrow says, we're interested in buying Epic, right? When they showed the theme park stuff that they wanted to do, and they had the contract where there's supposedly an extraction or a battle royale of Disney coming later this year in November or something like that, right? Now you have this. It's like minimal viable product, and yet they're not even putting their effort for it. They're just licensing it to people, and then everyone else is doing a minimal viable product, and Epic is just sitting back, and anybody else is sitting back, and they don't get it. They don't understand that it shifts the complete mindset of Star Wars was the most popular brand on planet Earth at one point. And now it's just sad. Like, people are like, oh, Star Wars? I don't care. Like, we just don't care about anything anymore about Star Wars. The movie's going to bomb, right? Someone said it earlier. I think it was Jesse Mack. Was it Jesse Mack? I'm not sure if
it's going to bomb, but it won't make enough.
Well, that's called bombing.
No. I'm talking about, like, let's say if they needed to make 250 million, they make 220 million. Like, it'll be close.
That's still a failure.
Yeah, but it's not a bomb.
It is a bomb. If it doesn't make its money back, it's a failure. It's a bomb.
Well, a bomb is like, you're not even close, bro. Like, you're a smoldering crater. You spent 250 and you made 10. That's a bomb.
But it doesn't matter if they don't make their money back. That's a fucking bomb.
Okay.
If I make one movie and I'm below
semantics.
budget,
move on. It's semantics. It's an adjective.
It's not semantics. If you don't make enough money back to pay for the thing that you actually have, then you're out. You're closed. You're done. The only reason they stay alive is because they put out 12, 13 movies a year, and one movie makes a blockbuster. They make $1.2 billion, and it pays for the rest of them.
Sure.
But if a movie comes out and it makes one movie and they have nothing to fall back on, that's a fucking bomb if they don't make their money back. That's not semantics. That's failure. Anyway, it's projected to make $80 million, right? Opening weekend. That's so bad. Now, mind you, during pandemic times, Shang-Chi made $75 million opening weekend. Everyone's like, that's amazing. It's so successful. And I'm like, now this movie is going to bomb opening weekend. It's not even going to make $80 million. Okay. And that's $5 million more than Shang-Chi made when it was peak. Right. And this is the worst. Right. This movie is not even going to make $300 million total. What's that?
But they spent twice as much more money on it than Shang-Chi.
Well, sure, but $75 million opening weekend is a terrible opening weekend for a movie that costs, $150 million.
If it's out in the theater for X number of weeks, you can make that money.
If they don't make their money back, plus what they have to give the theaters and what they give the other like in China and whatever else, they only get 40%, 30% in some places of the money back. So they have to double it, triple it, and then take their cut. And that's how they make their money, right? So anyway, Mando and Grogu has to make somewhere around $500 to $600 million. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right. This is just yet another Star Wars debacle.
Yes, but it hurts more because Favreau is one of the last guys who actually wants things to turn around. So he's literally stuck between a rock and a hard place because he just got out from underneath Satan. And he finally has a movie that he got to make the way he wanted to make it, but now nobody's there to listen to it because nobody cares anymore.
How many times can this one man save a brand, like, right? Because when he made Mando, the series on Disney Plus,
that was Star Wars going to the ICU,
yeah. No, well, everyone loved it. They were like, "This is great." Season 2 ended with Luke Skywalker, and then we had season 3. That no one remembers, and now this is season 4.
He basically got yelled at.
Yeah,
he did what he wanted to do, got everyone super hyped, got the Luke Skywalker in there, and then immediately afterwards they were like, "No, you can't do that. You have to do it this way, or you're done." And so they had to do it their way, and there you go. We're back to being dead. This
man saved Marvel, because before that, Marvel was okay with their studio, but he came out and made Iron Man, and that was the starting point of the 12, 13 years of everything that happened in Marvel because of him. Okay. So here we are. Okay. Don't forget the Book of Boba Fett. No. Can we please forget about that? How about Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan was bad too, right? There's so many bad things that are happening with this brand. We just talked about it for video games. Now this movie's coming out. Look, I like Jon Favreau. I like a lot of his movies that he directed and acts in, right? I want to support him, but I also don't want to support Disney. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to support him and be like, yeah, I want to support because I want Jon Favreau to succeed. But at the same time, I don't trust, just like I said, Ubisoft earlier, they have to prove to me they can actually do something well before I can trust them again.
But in relation to how things have been failing, if the movie fails, but is close to the number, says more about the people sticking around than if the movie would to bomb outright.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's the smartest thing they're doing right now. He's the one marketing it. He's the one that's going around talking about the movie. Pedro Pascal's not talking about the movie.
They don't want any of the actors saying anything.
They just have him going around talking about
it. Because they can't keep their mouth shut. They're still on the narrative bullshit.
They're showing behind the scenes. They're showing like the puppets. They're showing the practical effects. They're showing all the stuff they've done. Yeah. He's trying to show people all the tender care that he went into behind the scenes to make it look good. But they still use the volume, and the volume just doesn't look good. It washes everything out. It makes everything look flat. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's coming out, but there's no hype whatsoever for this. All right, that's the Disney spot. Let's see what we got here. We got that. Let's talk about the PlayStation, right? PlayStation this week was a roller coaster ride, and a lot of people still don't get why people have a problem with it. Okay, so just yesterday, 5 days after someone found the thing that said license DRM whatever in the background. People started freaking out. Someone posted, said, "Hey, is this a DRM on PlayStation?" And then they said it's got a timer. It says 30 days. And in the very beginning, everyone was like, "Oh, it's a 30-day check-in. Every 30 days you have to check in." That's where it started. Okay. We reported on it. And I was like, we don't know what it is, right? Then other people came out and said that, "Oh no, it's a glitch." And I'm like, it's not a glitch because there's a screenshot and it shows you date, start, date, and total time. If it's a glitch, why did someone put a code in there of to show you on a display? It would just been a thing in the background and you wouldn't have seen it at all, right? So the glitch thing's out the fucking window. I was like, there's no way it's a glitch, right? Everyone's like, well, maybe it's a mistake, right? So then they started going into it. Then people started asking questions. They started asking questions of the actual AI in the chat thing. And the chat came up and said, yes, there is a 30-day check-in. And then another one said, no, there isn't a 30-day check-in. Yes, there's a 14-day check-in. Is it perpetuity all the time? They're like, yes and no. And there was conflict of interest and people were posting stuff. Then people made videos. They showed that they took the CMOS chip out. SpawnWave had a video, right? Took the chip out or the battery out. Sorry, not a chip. Took the battery out of the console, took it offline, showed what games logged in, single player games, and then other games that didn't log in, and games after you purchased it on March or early April, right? So all this stuff happened. People were like, no, this is what's happening. No, this is happening. Sony didn't come out until yesterday, and then they say two sentences, okay? 2 sentences, and the sentence is, where is it? Right here, okay? This is it. This is all Sony came out and said when the internet went all over the place and people are running around doing all this stuff, right? Players can continue to access and play their purchased games as usual. A one-time online check is required to confirm the game's license, after which no further check-ins are required. Okay.
But that happened when you bought the game anyway.
Correct. But it also doesn't tell you what this is doing. Right? It just says a one-time online check-in is required. Why? Why is it required? Right? Nobody asks questions. Just accept
Consume
it.
product.
Right? Just hit okay. Okay. So everyone's like, see, it's a nothing burger. It's nothing. And I'm like, no, it's not nothing. Right? And I'll go back to the analogy of, again, this wasn't the first microtransaction, but everyone knows of this microtransaction as the first one, which is Bethesda's horse armor. Right? Just a $2 horse armor. And the same people back then probably protecting the people now, okay, when they just said, oh, it's just horse armor. It's just the one horse armor. It's just $2 horse armor. It's not a big deal. Here we are, $25 one skin backpack, $500 character, $40,000 ship, right? It's just the horse, right? That's what this is. It's just the requirement of the check-in. And you're like, why do you need the check-in? Right? Then there's patents. Let's go back to the patents that we've talked about on this show. The biometric patterns that you have with the fingerprint and the eye scan and the face recognition, right? These are all patents that Sony owns, right? They've sat on it for all these years. And now, not saying they're doing it, but I'll tell you what. They're more likely to do something more than this than not likely to do it at all. Right? Can you agree with that?
You didn't buy patents for no reason.
Right. So obviously, this is not nothing, but it's also not, like the world's coming to an end, but it's like, why do you need to check in? Everyone's like, well, you're checking in online anyway. I don't know if you guys know this, but like when you buy something, I already have a gamer tag. The gamer tag is linked to an email, and the email is linked to an account, and the thing that and your address and your email and everything else. That's me, right? That's you. You've made an account. That's you. If you want to make a fake account, whatever, you've signed in. What I do after that, I purchase the thing. That's all you need to do. Make the thing, sell the thing. I buy the thing, play the thing. I don't need to scan my face in or put a fingerprint in or just check in for the 14 days or the 30 days or the one time or 2 time. Just the receipt's the receipt. I purchased the game. Now, people are like, oh, it's because, as they say up here, it's to introduce to combat the refund scams. That's not what this says. Nothing down here says that's what they're doing. They didn't say it's stopping from the refund scams. They didn't say anything. All they said was it's a one-time check-in required to confirm and you still own your game, is what they said. They didn't say they're doing it because it's combating scams. They didn't say it's because of jailbreaking PlayStations. They didn't say anything. But that's what people are running with now. They're like, yeah, it's because of the scams. How many people do you think they're actually scamming? Sorry, what percentage do you think? Or if remember, these are the same people that say Xbox don't buy games, PlayStation buy games, right? PlayStation buy games. So if they buy games, then what's PlayStation worried about? Why you got to check in?
I mean, under normal economic conditions, maybe like 5%. I think maybe when the economics get hard, where people get more expensive stuff, maybe like 8%, maybe closer to 9%. That's about it. It's still single digits.
So why
I don't think it's everybody. First of all, it takes a lot of patience to understand all the ins and outs of all the tech. Not everybody can do it. So I'm sure there are people out there that do it, and I'm sure their friends who they hang around with also do it. But at the same time, if it were the problem that you say it is, that it needs to be done now, it would have been done a long time ago, because let's not pretend that they didn't cause the problem. They're the ones that stopped selling physical copies because it wasn't enough.
Right, not just Sony, just the industry itself.
Industry as a whole, yeah. So you stopped selling physical copies for me to buy digital. And now that I buy the digital, now you want me to check in with the digital stuff that I bought it directly from you.
Right.
After that, what am I checking in? I bought it from you. I bought it digitally from Sony. So what's the check-in about?
My problem is, just like anything else, and I brought this up in my morning stream, I'm the customer. I did what you asked, right? Like I bought your system, right? I bought the game off digital, off your store, right? I signed up for PlayStation account. I'm the customer that's willing to do all the stuff. And now they're asking just for what? One extra step, right? That one extra step. Meanwhile, if it is a person that's jailbreaking or scamming them or doing everything, they don't have to do anything. They just put the game in the machine and play the game. They don't have to check in. They don't have to do anything. They just play the game, because no matter what things they put in front of them, they just go, I'm just going to go around it, right? Like we were playing State of K last night. You're like, just hit B, just go around the guy, right? That's exactly what happens. A hacker's like, oh, they put up a new wall, I'll just go around it, right? And they don't have to do anything. They just keep playing the game. Better version, right? Netflix, to get a 4K Netflix, you don't get it. You pay for it, but you don't get it. Person stealing Netflix, 4K, 2K, 1080p, 60, right?
But once again, if you were actually providing the service that you say you were, I wouldn't have to pirate it.
Right.
I wouldn't have to pirate the 4K Netflix if you would give me 4K when I pay for it. Actually give it to me.
8K.
Right?
8K.
This back and forth that they do is just to keep people at each other. You are still not providing the service. Now, why is it now, after 13 years, when Xbox did it or Microsoft did it? Why now? Why now?
Well, I love the Sony guys that are like, well, Xbox did it first. And I'm like, well, hold up now. Sony as a company did it first because they did it back in 2005 with the music. They did DRM for music.
That's correct.
Okay.
And look what happened to the music and the DVD industry. They destroyed it.
Right? So Sony might not have done it first in gaming, but they did it first with that stuff. Okay. So, and again, I don't care who did it first or who did. I don't like it. I don't want it. None of us asked for this. Nobody needs it, right? They don't need it. They're still making money. You make the product, we buy the product. That's it. That's the arrangement, right? You make product, we buy product if we like the product. The arrangement's not buy product and then, oh, by the way, we need more information from you. We need to just check in and make sure you're who you are. You say you are. Like, well, first of all, buying your games. Again, this is not a Sony thing. I'm talking about game industry in total, right? I buy your game and now it's broke, buggy, unfinished, right? And then I got to wait 12, 16 months. But you want my money up front, right? You want my information up front. You want me to check in up front. You want me to do all these things, but you're not giving me the thing that you asked, right? Make a product.
No, I don't have the complete product on day one.
Right. So I don't know. This is, to me, it's not a hand wave of, oh, this is a nothing burger, because it's not a nothing burger. This is the horse armor of this topic, right? This is something going on behind the scenes. Because again, remember, they didn't even say they did it. They just put it in there, and now they
See what
only said
happens.
something because they got caught. So,
Yeah, but this is the MO. It's been the MO, just to toss things in there and see what happens. The idea that you would defend the corporation yourself as an individual says so much about your character.
it's mind-boggling.
Can you not for a moment see the bigger picture, or is it you can't put down your controller and control yourself and see what the actual thing is? Like, don't engage with the product or the company anymore and see what happens. Are you so attached of your entertainment through them that you'll defend them on any level? That says a lot.
Right. That's the problem. And again, a lot of people, I said this on my morning stream, people have more of a problem with us saying the problem instead of that being the problem, right? They're not mad at Sony for doing this. They're mad at you for bringing up Sony's doing this, right? And
Yes.
that to me is I don't understand. Like, I'm a consumer. We're on the same team, right? I
want quality products for a good price. That's the point of a customer. I want a quality product for a good price. You're giving me a half-ass product for full price and want all my personal information up front and repeatedly want my information.
They did the same thing when Helldivers 2 came out, and they're like,
it was the same move.
They're like, oh,
it was the same move.
And the guys that were like, just sign up. It's not a big deal. And you're like, no, I played this game for 3 months, and now you're asking me to sign up. I don't want to sign up. Right. And obviously the people that spoke up, they're like, all right, we'll back off. We don't care. We'll try a different way to get you to sign up,
which they did,
which they have. They've tried different ways. Okay. It just boggles my mind that someone would defend a corporation instead of going, hey, I didn't think about that. Why they are trying to protect us. Right. Everything gets fixed because people bitch about the stuff, not because everyone's like, oh, deep throating.
If you didn't bitch, they wouldn't fix it. They just let it sit there.
I was on Wizards podcast yesterday, Wizards Fake News, right? And I said, and he said that just stop buying the stuff. I said not forever, just don't buy the brand new game that's coming out, right? It's still going to be there.
No, you have to turn off.
No. What I'm saying is,
cancel things and turn off.
No, but the point is, if you just stop buying it, like Soros just came out on PlayStation. If you want to make a message, don't buy that game right now, right? It's still going to be there a month from now, and it'll probably be cheaper by then because they're not selling it, right? So if you just didn't buy that new game, or you just didn't get PlayStation Plus for 1 month, right? They'd be like, what the fuck's going on? Why is everyone doing this? They would hear the message.
Yeah, but you see the conflict of interest between your personal property and what they want you to say that you control or pay for. If I buy a game digitally and it's on my system, and I go to my friend's house and I just transfer it over, right?
Sign into their system or whatever.
Yeah. That's the same thing as me bringing my disc over to my friend's house to play over his house, right? Now, whether or not the disc stays there and he owns it now for a little while because I left it there for 3 months or 4 months, or I forget now it's his game after a while because you know what I'm saying? Like, there is no difference between the actual aspect of the physical copy being there or me transferring the game over to the hard drive. You know what I mean? Because that license for that game was purchased by the individual. It's mine. They're trying to obfuscate the actual term and meaning of the word purchase. They think everything is temporary, right? So it's temporary now because it's digital and I can't have the actual item, whereas before it was physical and you couldn't take it away from me because you're not going to send goons to my house and collect the disc after 5 years. Like, it's the same.
Yeah.
So the argument about it's being digital or not, it's the same product. It's the same license. They change the verbiage of the license and they want to make it into something else, but it's the same. That's the argument that I have. It's like, it's the same thing. You didn't want to sell a physical product. It's digital. Great. We're on the same page. You wanted to save the planet, less plastic. Cool. Same rules.
That's exactly what they actually
same
did.
Rules. It's the same rules.
It's
not changed because you don't have
digital.
The disc anymore.
Yeah, they didn't make digital because I remember in the beginning they were like, yeah, it's to save the environment.
You don't remember that, right? You don't remember that, right? Yeah, but save the environment.
Yeah, and it was just to put more money in their pocket because they didn't have to put it. Yeah.
Right.
Remember, they said they were actually going to make digital cheaper, which never happened.
Right. If it's digital, it should be cheaper.
Yeah, it never happened.
Never happened. It actually went up.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Well, yesterday also Wizard told me that Nintendo, so Walmart, I don't have a story about this. I'm just doing off the cuff here. He showed me an article about Walmart is actually doing an in-store credit type of thing and bringing the price of Yoshi down, and I think it was a Pokemon. No, it was Splatoon and Yoshi. Nintendo games never go on sale, right? Never go on sale. Okay, very rarely do they go on sale.
Well, a box store used to be able to do it when they just
correct.
They just moved the price around.
Well, the whole thing was when digital flipped and box stores still had the stuff. They wanted to sell digital cheaper, but box stores were like, you can't undercut us because if you sell these for cheaper, you're gonna shit us because we're gonna get stuck with this stock because no one's gonna buy these hard copies because they can get the digital for cheaper, right? So they kept these at the same price as this, right? So box stores were playing along with the companies, but now the box stores, because digital is so and these games just sit on the shelf, right? I tell you all the time, I go to Costco, everyone's like, oh, these things are selling like hotcakes. I'm like, no, they're not. There's a whole pallet right here. I could buy PlayStation and Nintendo and all this other stuff. Appreciate that just enough. So like they're not moving. These games are just sitting on the shelf. So they're giving a $10 discount off of that. And it's not from Nintendo, it's from Walmart. Walmart's like, we need to move these fucking things out of our store because it's real estate space that they're taking up. Right. So they're going on discount. Costco in certain regions were putting games on discount, like half off. There was like $30 for certain games, which is crazy. And I didn't even know this was a thing. Last night when I was talking, I was like, oh, that makes sense why Costco was putting the game on sale. They had 3 games on sale. I think it was Metroid. I think it was Donkey Kong, and it was another game. All 3 games were like half off. It's like $40, $30, whatever.
But those are still physical copies or the physical disc, the physical card.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the physical digital card.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So it's interesting to see that now Walmart and stuff is kind of like pushing back to the game companies, but going like, yeah, we're not going to deal with this. So we'll see what happens in the future and what changes. But yeah, digital sales are 93% on PlayStation right now.
Yeah, I still think, and I'm hoping that I do a little bit more research, and I hope over time it opens up. I still think that because of the fact that box stores no longer carry physical products, the company is actually losing money initially because box stores as a whole would order numbers of copies of the game in the beginning, right? So let's say we're coming out with a new game for Christmas and we ship all the games in July and August. So they're there in October and they'll stock the shelves and they wait until put them out for the holiday season, right?
Right.
So let's say between all the box stores, let's say we shipped maybe 6 or 7 million copies, right? Right. So if I ship 6 or 7 million copies that the store bought from me already, that's 6 or 7 million sales that I have already.
Correct.
Before. So if I take away all
the difference between shipped and sold, yeah,
same thing though. But the box store still has to pay them.
Correct.
Right. The box store makes their money after they sell the product. Wholesale, they buy the games from the company. They bought those games.
Yes.
That's how it worked. Okay, so now if I get rid of all the box store physical copies, that means the actual developers and the publisher themselves has to sell the game themselves. So if you can't get 8 million people to buy the game in the first 30 days, like the box stores do, then you're missing out on those profits. You don't see them until later on. Now, here's the difference. The difference is you'll keep the game at a higher price for longer and people will just wait. Whereas the box stores already bought it. And if you don't buy them in the box store, they go on sale immediately.
Right. And that's why they don't want you to undercut it with if Nintendo does a sale, they want also to do a sale and they do price.
But they already got their money. Money.
Yeah.
That's the difference. See, I think that's a linchpin in what's going on in the topic here. I think it is. I'm waiting to see something come out because I think that's their big deal. They cannot recoup their money during the time frame that they want because they're not selling those numbers initially. You're not getting it because
right.
If it's a good game, box stores know it's a good game because they saw the prior sales of the last game and they go, we're going to buy extra games of this.
Well, that's why they also did pre-orders because the box stores had to front the money. And
that's
if they knew who was buying it, then they were
right. They felt better about ordering the game.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's go from that to this story, which is I'm not really talking about the topic here, but I'm going to tell you what the topic is, right? So it says, please have faith in us. Once again, says Winrose Dev, revealing that the first big content update won't arrive for at least 6 months. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the way the game industry is now, and the way that people just play games and they doesn't matter if it's early access, doesn't matter if it's alpha, beta, release, gold. There's just like this blurred line, right? Because I'm playing Winrose. I have 60-something hours into the game. It's more polished right now as a early access than some of the AAA games out in gold. Okay. Better than it runs better than some of the live service games that are live right now. Okay. Krebsy said something yesterday, right? Which kind of like perked my ears up a little bit, right? And he said, it's rough that the next update is not coming out for 6 months. And I get what he was saying. And I was like, that's why I'm bringing it up today, right? Like the topic is, it's an early access game, right? They sold 1.5 million early access copies of this game, right? So that's the player base right now, over 1.5 million. It's like 1.6 or whatever it is, okay? And he's kind of right, because 6 months from now, okay, like something else is going to come out. Something else is going to take the time away from them. And then even if they come out with something in 6 months and it's early access, it's still not out. It's still in early access. They said in the very beginning, before the game came out, that it's not coming out for 1.5 to 2.5 years, maybe even 3 years when it's all said and done and complete, right? The mentality of the gamers now is that this game is out, right? Doesn't matter if it's early access, doesn't matter. Like, this game's out, people are playing it, and they'll put it down just like they did if they bought a full price game, and they won't go back to it, right? Of course, you're going to have your main organisms that play this game and love it, and they're like, oh, I love this game. But the people like myself, I'll play it, and then I'll beat it, and then when it comes out an update, I might go back to it, right, to play the update, or I might wait, like I did for Sea of Thieves and stuff like that, like I did for Minecraft. I played Minecraft for thousands of hours, and then it launched, and I stopped because I was just like, I played it so much already, right? So I'm like, I moved on. So my question, do you think it's fair that these early access companies, not just Winrose, but early access that comes out, that's incomplete type of games that people love, like a Pal World, like a Winrose, I'm trying to think of other games that came out that were really good early access games. They're just kind of done, right? They just kind of done, right? Like, what happens? Like, they can't survive because if they only make 1.5 million people, it's discounted, by the way, because when a game comes out, it's going to be a higher price. Are they going to get that surge of people to come in to fund that?
Yeah, but that it weighs on different factors. Number one, you got 1.5 million people to get early access because they actually wanted to play a pirate game.
Correct.
That's how you know they wanted to play a pirate game. All right,
regardless if it's pirate, just they're signed up in that game.
So yes, it's good for them because 1.5 million people wanted to play the pirate game. But at the same time, if over time they played the game, they're done with it. Do you think there's another 2 or 3 million people waiting for the actual release of that game to come out?
Right, because
my answer is going to be I don't believe so, because by the time the game comes out officially, you have other games out. Right. So this whole I don't know what to say anymore. If you want, like, Star Citizen is the exception, right? It's not out. It's still an early access type of thing, right? It's nonsense. But this game, there's enough people out there who wanted to play the genre of a pirate game, which is why there were so many pirate games that came out all around the same time, because people knew there was some kind of niche in there about a pirate game, right? Skull and Bones fucked it up. Black Flag did it well. They never followed up. Somebody else did. And now everybody's chasing pirate, right? Now, I'm not saying chasing pirate like hardcore, but they're chasing pirate, right? So by the time that game comes out, now listen, once again, 15 people. Okay. Right? 15 people in that dev team, right?
For them, yeah.
Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, they won. They sold 1.5 million copies and there's 15 of them. They won. Whether or not another 2 million people play this game in 6 months, because, or I'm sorry, in another couple years, when it actually officially releases, that'll just be butter on the bread. You know what I mean? Like, they've won already because it's a 15-person studio. The difference now, then, of course, is you have been conditioned to react this way for
because
any news of a game that comes out. They tell you it's going to take us 6 months to fix something, and you're mad about it because you like it, as opposed to I liked Battlefield, but it's going to take 6 months to fix it because you released it broke. Like,
Right.
what's the difference?
Well, right. Well, the difference is you paid full price for that game. You didn't pay full price for this game.
Well,
right.
They told you that was a discount.
Right, it's up front. Yeah, it's up front. This game is not complete.
Yes,
and it's cheaper.
But you can say that. Listen to me. You can say that as a small dev team in
Sure.
order to create more sales, because you say to them you're offering it at a discount. But we all know if I had charged full price and the game update didn't come out for 6 months, it would be the same thing. The only difference is they had the wherewithal to say, let's release this at a discount, so then they feel better about it, and we'll work on it as it goes.
Well, yeah, because it's not a live service game. It is incomplete, and they said that. The difference is, like I just said, these guys were upfront about it, right? These guys were upfront and saying, yeah, we're a small studio. This is what we got. We got 50 to 70 hours worth of content in the game right now. We're giving, if you early access, it's a cheaper rate. It will go up in price once we're done, and it won't be done for at least a year and a half to 2.5 years in their blog post they first put, right?
But I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that
no, I understand
that's the industry as a whole.
I'm saying it's bad from the industry standpoint of a AAA game coming out, doing the exact same thing. It's broke, buggy, and unfinished, but they don't tell you it's broke, buggy, and unfinished. They tell you this is the greatest game we've ever created. Here it is, $70, $80, $120 collector's edition. It comes out, it's broke, buggy, unfinished. You have to wait 18 months for it to fix. Where these guys, you have to wait 18 months to fix, but they're like, hey, it's not done.
Right.
Half off. Right. Half off. But that's the difference. If the other companies came out and said, hey, it's early access and it's cheaper. If you buy it now, it's cheaper. I don't think people would have a problem with that. But the AAA companies don't do that. They tell you that this is the greatest game ever created.
Well, they have to
look at it, and then it's not the greatest game ever made it because it's broke, buggy for 18 months, 24 months.
It was $30, right?
Winrose, 25, 30, right? I think
Is it 25 or 30?
I think it's 25. I got it for 27 because it was on sale when they first came out. I don't know what it is right now.
Okay.
It might be 30. Chad, is it 30? I think it's 30.
I'm just trying to get a ballpark.
Let me see. Winrose price. Winrose price is $29.99. Yeah. It says if you also get the soundtrack edition, it's $39.99. And when the game comes out, it'll probably be, $40, $50, whatever it is. Yeah, $30. Thank you, chat.
What's the cut? What's the cut for them to sell through the service? Is it 30%?
Steam is less. After you sell a certain amount of copies, it might be 8%, 10%. I forget what it is. Chat could probably fill that in as well.
You're talking about a small studio that's going to receive anywhere between $38 and $45 million. I mean,
it's just going to go back in for them to finish the game.
Yeah, but I don't know about you, bro. But if the initial sales of 1.5 million break in $45 million and less the digital cut, where they have of 10, 15%, that still leaves them anywhere between 38 and $40 million. You know what I'm saying? 15 guys getting $40 million. You can make whatever the fuck you want. You understand the difference?
Yeah.
The difference though is now they're done. They can be done if they want it to be done, but they're going to keep pushing out. They'll keep making content. But the idea is now you got paid for future years to decide whether or not you want to work on something else or continue the game that you already made. What's the difference? What's the difference?
Ultra says 30% after 1 million less, but I don't remember it. I looked it up. It says Steam generally takes a standard 30% cut on game sales, with developers and publishers retaining 70%. The rate reduces to 25% after the game earns 10 million and to 20% after 50 million in gross revenue. This 30% fee is considered an industry standard, matched by competitors like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. So
it's fine. The point I'm making is the studio is small enough to take 1.5 million copies sold and call it a day.
Yeah.
If they want to keep working on the same game, that's cool. If it's really not, I haven't played the game. If it's really not finished, then they have plenty of money to finish the game and do something else with the rest of the money into another game. Plenty. They can hire more people if they wanted to. They can do whatever they want because it's a small studio, and they're talented because they did something with 15 people that 1.5 million people wanted to give them money for.
Yeah, I think the problem is with the early access stuff like this, especially with Krebsy was saying about the TikTok brains and stuff like that. The 1.5 million, let's just say it's 2 million by the time it comes out. There's 2 million people that early accessed it for a year and a half, 2 years. Then it launches. These people come back now that it's 1.0, kind of gives a little bit buzz. But are they going to get another? Are they going to get another 1.5 to 2 million people to buy the game 3 years from now when Grand Theft Auto Online's out and the next Call of Duty's out and Wolverine?
But you already won. Anything that happens after that is icing.
You would hope based on the budget,
but you already won. You already won.
Yeah, I don't know. I look at it just like 1.5 is phenomenal. I would love 1.5 of anything, right? 1.5 million pennies I'll take. Like the fact that these companies though are fighting up against other companies that are finished and they're coming out early access, competing with them now, and then they're also competing with them later when they're finished. Yeah, but by that time, no one cares about them now.
Yeah, but the only thing that they competed with was other pirate games. And the other pirate game out there were the ones that had already had failed, right? Had failed. It already was stable. Yeah. So they slid it in. They made their money and they get to walk.
Well, from that we have this game, which is a live service game, right? The Last Flag third-person shooter from Imagine Dragons Singer goes free every weekend for now. Okay, the numbers of this is terrible. It's like 50 people, like consecutive. Like it doesn't even break over 70. I don't think. I can look it up. What is it? Last Flag.
I mean, it's just it's another game of the thousands of games that come out every year.
Well, this game is out at 35 people. 35 people playing this game right now on Steam.
Well, let me ask you a question. Why is this game in the headlines and not the rest of these, one of the 8,000 games that have come out since the beginning of the year? You know what I mean? Like, what makes this one special?
I think this right here, the third-person shooter. I think that's why. It's a big thing because it's PvP, because of Concord, because of High Guard, because of Marathon. I think that's why this is out there, because of Fair Games. It doesn't matter if it's an Extraction. It doesn't matter if it's just a hero shooter.
So they're selectively picking certain genres of certain games that go along with the narrative, and that they just pick on this one? Is that how it works?
I think so. I mean, because they're talking about this, but they're not talking about it as the next Concord. You know what I'm saying? They're just talking about it going, yeah, it's free to play. They've lowered the price. It's free to play every weekend now.
Well, there's a couple things here. One, it could be a favor that somebody's doing because they like the company. They're trying to get them some publicity, right?
Sure.
Because that's what that is, right?
Could be a cheap game to make. It didn't cost that much. That's why it's still surviving. Yeah.
Maybe, right? But at the same time, how many other games should get a shot? How many other games should get a shot at what this game's getting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's so many games released every year that you don't even know about them. You guys know about maybe 20, 30, I'll even go 50, as high as 50 games every year out of the 8 or 9,000 that are released that you never hear of. So what? We're going to obviously you're personally going to pick and choose, but when the media actually pick and chooses, I have some questions. Why this one?
I just feel it's funny because like we said before, like High Guard was just shredded. Right. Last Flag, they showed a 15-minute long trailer like 6 months ago about what the game was. And we're like, this is dead on arrival. And obviously it's dead on arrival.
Well, we don't know anything, bro. We're just two guys talking.
But no one's taking this and putting it into the Concordia timeline. Right. This is 100% Concordian timeline. Look at this. That's Concordian timeline. It didn't even beat Concord. Okay. It's under Concord of 657. It's 100 less.
Yes, but is it dead in 13 days?
No, it's not. It's not dead in 13 days. So
you don't take it from the
champ. It also probably didn't cost $240 million to make.
You don't, but you can't take it from the champ. You can't take away the win from the champ.
That's gonna be a hard one to beat. I'll be honest with you. 13 days closed studio.
Well, because you have to have a studio that's not backed by a more larger studio that would get bankrupt and disappear. Because if it's part of nothing else, they would get folded in or something else would happen. It was just kind of like luck of the size studio that it was and what had happened.
All right,
who's behind it, Water? Who's behind it?
It's the guy from Imagine Dragons. I think that's who he's talking about. Okay, so the next thing is the Xbox. So Xbox CEO Asher Sharma, who took the job less than 3 months ago, says the player and revenue growth has not yet met our ambition. Okay, the Microsoft gaming continues to slide. Okay, so Microsoft released their Q3 fiscal year 2026 reports here yesterday. In the news on Xbox is not entirely sunshine and lollipops. The company ate a 7%, $380 million decrease in gaming revenue in the quarter, driven by a 5% year over year and decline in Xbox content services revenue and 33% drop in Xbox hardware. Okay, that's not a catastrophic. It says it's not catastrophic, but is it enough to prompt a public reaction from the new Xbox CEO, Asha Sharma? She says, while we have made progress expanding the business and also margins, players' revenue growth has not yet met ambition. Okay, so she also said we also know to work to do and earn the players, every player today and into the future. So obviously they're hurting. I wonder if they're going to blame her.
The only thing I know about Rosh Hashanah or
Rosh Hashanah,
whatever the hell her name is, right? Is she flosses?
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. I don't care.
Sharma,
right?
Asha.
I don't care. Shawarma. Yeah. Asha Shawarma. Yeah. Yeah. Does she flosses? That's all I know about her, right? The things that are coming out, think about it this way. The things that are coming out in Xbox over the next 6 weeks were all already planned, set, and staged to be released this year. Her walking into it and things being released in front of her are not her.
Right. Well, like this, right? The Xbox mode begins rolling out players on the Windows 11 PC today. Right. We've talked about this last week. We talked about the week before. We talked about it a month ago. I find it very hard to believe that Phil Spencer was doing everything wrong and she comes in and is just doing everything right. Right. Like these two people, this is the same timeline that they had in front of them. All of this stuff was going to happen. Maybe not the Game Pass going down by $7. I'll say that, right? But Satya Nadella and Amy, I forget her last name, okay, are still at the company, and they're the ones that told Phil and Sarah and all of them to do the things they had to do, 30% margin, all this other stuff. And now she's here, and she's like, yeah, this is all rolling out. Everyone's like, W. And I get it. But they just didn't just pull this up out of their bag, or the ladder's coming out.
Everything related to the companies is set and planned. You don't just invent something and pop it out. That's not how it works, right? Now, I'm not saying she doesn't have good ideas, but
sure,
the entire structure of what had happened over the last, I'll say the last 3 months, about because the numbers were so low. See, now you have to blame somebody, right? When things go wrong, you have to blame somebody. Now, whether or not it was time for Phil to leave or it was time for Sarah to leave, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But the things that were already set to go, right, were there. So
right, they're already in motion.
So if you're looking at the things that are being released now, as opposed to the things that were released a few years back, right, you have to ask yourself the question: is it the same level of thinking that the same people thought about both these ideas, right? Was it Sarah and Phil's idea to basically tell everybody that Xbox is not needed, everything you own in your house is an Xbox, because we're trying to get it out to more people, and then immediately turn around and do a 180 about it because you were trying to get it into the hands of more people? And you said it before, it's not like that because the marketing stopped, that those marketing points are not the same. Xbox can be played on anything, right? It hasn't changed.
Yeah, this
it hasn't changed.
Here. Look at this picture.
Right. What has changed is you talking about the Xbox as a brand, as opposed to saying that, well, we're just Microsoft and we make games. So you decided in a matter of 6 weeks that you didn't need a brand, and now because nobody has any kind of brand loyalty, that now you have to go back to get a brand because nobody was interested in just giving you money to play games, right?
Right.
So when I look at that and I say to myself, are these ideas from the same people? Was that your logical conclusion? I'm not selling enough hardware. This is prior to the chip shortage. Remember,
Right.
This is prior to the chip shortage. We're not selling consoles, right? Because now follow the logic. We're not selling consoles because we don't have enough first-party games for them to want to buy the console. So then we switch over to wanting to buy Game Pass. Then we start filling up Game Pass with first-party titles that we do have in order to make Game Pass more viable, to get more people to buy Game Pass. That was the momentum.
Yeah.
That was the momentum. Then at some point, someone decided, well, we have this momentum, we should charge more for Game Pass, right?
Right.
So instead of going up a couple dollars, you decided to throw the cat to the wall and say we're going up $10 for some strange reason. Like, I don't think those people are the same ideas. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
You don't build momentum up and then do that at the end. That was done by somebody else. Just like the idea to all of a sudden get rid of it, but not entirely, right? Whoever's idea was to raise it up can't be wrong completely. So we have to bring it back down, but not all the way. Right? That shows a different.
Well, they knew what percentage. We talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. They knew what percentage still paid the $30
because they already have them.
Right.
But there was no growth. Her words.
It was down,
but
they knew there was no growth. There was no growth. They knew exactly who it was there. But it's funny because this picture, not that this picture says that everything's an Xbox, but when you show a picture of a laptop, a handheld, another handheld,
your marketing
another
didn't
laptop,
change.
Right? The console, there's a TV. Obviously, everything's still an Xbox. Everything can still play an Xbox games on it. It's just not the marketing of everything's an Xbox.
Right. No, the marketing is not that you don't need an Xbox.
Right.
That's what it was before.
No,
they said you didn't need an Xbox. Well, you didn't need an Xbox because everything was an Xbox.
Yeah,
that was the marketing.
Now it's
right. So hardware sales are down.
Now it's you don't need an Xbox, but we're not telling you everything's an Xbox.
That's
but everything's an Xbox.
Hardware sales are down because I don't need to buy an Xbox because
of course it's down. Nothing in here is made by Xbox. Nothing in this picture is made by Xbox.
But that's my point, bro.
Yeah. Of course, hardware sales are down because you can play Xbox on any of these devices.
If you are trying to sell me a product and you actually wanted me to buy hardware from you, you would make a point to make me a reason why I have to buy your product.
Hey.
If you come out and tell me I don't need an Xbox because you probably already have it in your house, that is a ploy to get people to sign up for a subscription service. That's not a ploy to be involved in hardware and purchasing of first-party titles. That is not the same. It's not. Right? And so that didn't work to their liking. So now they have to go back and find a way for us to want an Xbox in the middle of chip shortage, rising costs, and no first-party titles.
You are correct, Krebsy. They do make the controller, but you can't play video games because you can't see the game unless you use one of these devices with that controller. Right. So you are right. They do make the one thing in there. They do make the controller. You are correct. I just feel it's funny. 33% down. Of course, because there's more devices out there that people already own that can play the games that you want them to play, and they don't have to buy because everything's an Xbox. But the marketing is not everything's an Xbox. They're like, Asha, what a great thing. They got rid of the marketing plan of. They don't need a marketing plan. I go to the store. I'm like, oh, that's a television set. Can I play Xbox on that? Yeah, sure can. All right, that PC over there. Yeah, sure can. You can still. It comes with Windows. Oh, Windows is on that. That's amazing, right? Like, duh.
By the way, did you need an entire multi-million-dollar advertisement campaign to tell you that you could play Microsoft games on Microsoft products other than an Xbox? Think about that for a moment. Did you need to spend millions of dollars on an advertisement to tell people that they could play Microsoft games on other products other than an Xbox?
No, you didn't need to do that. That was the stupid part of it, right? So a more immersive way to play on PC, Xbox mode, right? Because this is happening now. All these devices, you have Xbox mode for moments when you want the games to take center stage, so it's like what Steam does. Okay. Recently played titles within easy reach while minimizing the background distractions. With the Xbox mode, you can browse and launch games using the controller optimized interface. You can jump back and forth between Xbox mode and Windows 11 desktop whenever you want. Access aggregating game library, including a full games catalog from Xbox Game Pass and installed games from leading PC storefronts. Because Xbox mode is built onto Windows, you'll still get the flexibility of openness of the PC gaming while also enjoying more immersive, streamlined way to play. Do you see what they're doing here, though? They are doing exactly what Steam has done, okay? Because that's who they're competing against, right? They're on the computer, and now people don't need to buy an Xbox to compete with Steam. They're already in the living room. They're already in the same bedroom, living room, whatever. Someone that owns a PC right now, they can play all Xbox games through the Microsoft Windows, through 11, and they can also play Steam. So they're there. They're not asking you to buy an extra piece of product to then access the games. Now, my question is, why, though, besides your exclusives, if you have exclusives, which you don't because they're on all platforms, right? Why do I need to buy your game through your Windows store when I can just keep all my games in my Steam library or buy it through app? You know what I'm saying? Like
that
now, why am I going to buy stuff through the Windows when I can still get it through Steam?
So now you're asking the right question. Now you have to say to yourself, well, now that she's in charge, what is she going to do to change that question around?
Right.
What is she going to make? What kind of marketing is she going to come up with that's going to make me want to buy an Xbox because of such and such reason? Now, I think it's going to be very hard for them to make any kind of ask, the big ask for any consumer on why you would want a new Xbox system.
Right. If I don't have a PC now, right? If I don't have a PC right now,
you have something.
No. Well, maybe I have a 360 or a PlayStation 4, right?
Well, let's not go that far back.
No. I'm a person that hasn't upgraded to the new system yet, right? So now I see the Helix come out. I see the PlayStation 6 come out. I see the Steam Machine come out. I'm like, all right, what am I getting? Right? Obviously,
what do I get for it?
Yeah. If I get the Steam Machine and Xbox still puts their stuff on Steam and whatnot, I can play Xbox games and I can play Steam games. If Helix comes out, obviously I can get that. I can play Steam. I could play Epic. I could play just like the other PC. So it's like, maybe I buy an Xbox because of that. Otherwise, I could just buy a PC and still play these things. So it's like, what do they do to entice you to go buy that Helix?
So here's what I think is going to happen, right? The only way that you can convince people that they need a new Xbox is the fact that regardless if you have the potato, the regular, or the pro, right? Regardless of what you have, you'll have the same experience because it's coming through the cloud. We're just beaming you the game. So regardless of what you have, right? So regardless of what you own, we're streaming the game to you. That has to be the hook, because otherwise there's no other reason why I would want to purchase Xbox hardware when I know I can get a better deal on doing something else. That's the only other. Show me the hook on why I want to buy when I want to buy hardware. That's got to be it.
Yeah.
Right. Their push for cloud gaming has to be that they have to be working on 2 or 3 titles that they're going to try to sell you that work across any device and have the same stats. Like that's what the sale point will be.
I mean, because if I have a PC now, I'm not buying new Xbox. There's no point. If I already have a PC that runs their stuff, why would I? Right.
Well, what is it's coming out that can't run on the system that I own right now? I'm not talking about an Xbox One. I'm talking about an X or an S. Like, now, what's not going to work?
Now, because I own a PC and because I own an Xbox, I would buy a Steam machine to put in my living room to play my computer games over there. I would do that, but I could do that now if I really wanted to, because I can get I can stream it over there if I wanted to using the link or whatever, right? Like just beam it over there and play, or get the app. I do that with my MetaQuest when I'm on vacation, right? I play Steam games from my MetaQuest. I play Xbox games from the cloud. That's a system. It's not the greatest system, but it's still a system I can play stuff on. Right? I don't have to go out and buy another system for it.
Okay, but that's just it. They outgrew their own market, right? Think of it this way: they outgrew their own market, and now they're trying to figure a way to regain the loss of the people that they had left behind, because the golden age of gaming, when you had a 360 and whatnot, remember, nobody moved over. Then the price point got too high and only certain people moved over. Then they wanted to make games only for that system to try to force people over, but then they realized people are not going to be forced over. They don't care.
Convenience.
They don't care. The entertainment system for the normies is just that, an entertainment system. It's not a cell phone or a television. See, a cell phone or a television, they have to have. If someone breaks your cell phone tonight, you're going to buy one tomorrow.
Yeah, you're
right. Going tomorrow. You might even order one online tonight.
I was just going to say that you would order one on Amazon right
but
now.
If your Xbox were to break and you had to find some other way of entertainment, the problem is already solved. You don't have to get anything replaced, right? That's where we are. That's where they are. So the people that moved over and are playing games on a new system, that's fantastic. But they're not there in the numbers that they need to sell new product because, number one, their budgets are too high. They're spending too much money on them. And there's not enough people in the ecosystem to recover the losses that they're spending on those products.
Right.
So the only way you can get those people over, and Game Pass wasn't working out too well, I'm telling you, they're going to have to go to this system where cloud gaming through everything. And that way, no matter what you own, it'll work. Within reason. You can't use a 360 probably or an Xbox One. Maybe. We don't know what. But
we had people on the One still playing Starfield when it came out, streaming it.
But I'll say this. If the advertisement to you is, we stream the games directly to your Xbox, whether you have an X, an S, right? Or the new one, the Helix, right? And someone has an Xbox One, they'll look for an S.
Yeah,
they'll look for
upgrade.
an S.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what happens as it moves forward.
That would be true, Jesse, if they continue to allow first party titles to be only on their system. But we don't know anymore. We're going to see. I still think that they need to sell numbers, and making it exclusive on their own system when they don't have enough systems out there defeats the purpose of you trying to make more sales.
Yeah. The problem is, it's such a hard sell to buy a new system when people already either own the system. And if I can stream it, like you said, why am I buying a new system? And if I have a PC, why am I buying a new system? Like it just doesn't make sense in the long game to jump in. So there's, and actually what I was going to say, they're also having the same problem. Xbox have the same problem to get people to get the hardware as movie theaters are to get you to go to the theater to watch a movie, right? Because the timeline of, let's say it's an exclusive game on Xbox. Well, if it's day and date, you've killed your sales because you don't need to buy this to play it. You can just buy it what you already have, play it where you already are, right? And if they do too long, people just don't care anymore because of TikTok brain, right? Where movie theaters, it's like, well, you can go to the movies or you can just wait 17 days or 21 days.
They're going to have to increase the
days. So they're killing. Why people go? Why go to the theater? Why buy an Xbox? Right?
They're going to have to increase the days.
They have to elongate the time in between to give you the urge. Sort of like fear of missing out type of stuff, right?
A little, it is.
Yeah, FOMO of, well, I need it. I need to get this box so I can play.
I still think 90 days is plenty
for movies.
Yeah,
way longer for video games. It's got to be at least, I would say,
a year,
8 months to a year. I would say 8 months to a year.
That's it. But we lived through it. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was over a year.
Listen, everything was fine the way they were doing it before until someone got greedy. And now we're in limbo.
Yeah.
That they caused. So they make you pay more for it. You can keep it. I don't need it.
The last story I want to talk about before we go to Q&A is Crimson Desert. People love Crimson Desert, right? And Crimson Desert, there was an article that I think PC Gamer wrote, and it was like, how are the developers able to make all these things come out? Are they okay? Are they working hard? Are they getting breaks? It's like, well, it's become so successful now that Crimson Desert has sold so well. The developer Pearl Abyss has reportedly given every employee a $3,400 bonus. Okay.
But do we need to really brag about this?
No, you don't. But it is nice to see when people come out and tell you, hey, we've sold a shit ton of copies and we appreciate you. We've rewarded our players, our guys with the $3,400 bonus, right? So people see that and go, "Oh,
but read it carefully. Crimson Desert has sold so well that its developer Polar Abyss has reportedly given every employee $3,400 bonus. Yeah, not the publisher.
Well, they are the publisher,
right? If you take care of yourself, everything will be fine.
Did they publish it? I'm pretty sure they published their own game, right? Am I wrong on that?
I don't.
Korean
think so.
publication said Pearl Abyss award of the staff 5 million special celebration. Did they? I think they self-published it, didn't they? Or is it NetEase?
Well, I think NetEase is in the corner.
No, I think it is NetEase, right? Am I wrong about that?
I'm sure NetEase sold. If it is NetEase, I'm sure somebody sent over a memo. Why did you give them $3,400?
Right.
That wasn't part of the pay structure.
Another thing,
they didn't get a Metacritic score of 94.5.
No,
so they don't get the 3,400.
Another thing happening with Crimson Desert is now this is not people not finishing the game. It's self-published. Thank you, Krebsy. So this is not people not finishing the game. I want to make that clear, right? This is just over 20% of the players are halfway through Crimson Desert. Okay, it's a story. And I feel like this says a lot about the people are playing the game. Now, the people that are playing the game, right? I don't want people to get confused with this. This is not people like we go to the Xbox achievement list and it says like 7% of the people haven't played
done the tutorial.
Yeah, haven't done the tutorial.
We sold 8 million copies. 6% made it past the tutorial. What's happening?
Right. Not that it matters because they got their money, but just over 20% of the player base is over halfway, meaning they're playing the game. The story's 12. I'm in chapter 9, by the way. I have 165 hours in the game. I'm in chapter 9. Almost done with chapter 9, almost in chapter 10. Okay. I'm above the 20% because I'm past a halfway point because it's chapter 6 is halfway. Okay. Only 20% of the player base. So they're just somewhere in the world, just loving the world so much that they got lost. They're like, you know what? I don't even care about the story. I'm just going to explore. Right. Because now the average person playing this game is playing for 22 hours. Right. The average is 22 hours. Okay. So a week, by the way, 22 hours a week.
That's because some guys in chat are breaking the curve for most people. That's why.
Right. So it's crazy to think about that this game has 20% of the players just halfway through the actual game because they're just lost in the world because they keep adding stuff. They keep fixing stuff. Yeah. What's the average in marathon? I have no idea. So I don't know. I just thought it was funny because everything's fine in Crimson Desert Land. Everyone's like, it's a shit game. 5 million sales. It's a shit game. They gave their bonuses to the thing. It's a shit game. 20% of the people still playing the game, but 20% are only halfway through because they just love the game so much. People are still finding. I saw a clip. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but I saw a clip on Twitter, and I know where they were in the game, and I went, motherfucker. I was like, I didn't know that was there. So it was like a secret passage that you would never know. And I was just like, this is amazing. And now I got to go back and go. Well, I don't know exactly what building it's in, but they showed something in a building. And I was just like, holy Christ. Now I have to go find, because there's a couple of the buildings like that. So I got to find it. So yeah, Crimson Desert doing good stuff here.
I always thought it was fascinating to look at the achievement list and how low the percentages are for something that's so mundane. And it just says that people don't play the game. They don't play their games. They just don't. They have them. They fuck around with them.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I'll be honest. I think it's funny because I'll be 48 in a couple weeks, and when I was 30 and 35, and reason 30 and still gaming exists is I didn't have time because I was a grown up with responsibilities and whatnot, and now more people are becoming, adults with responsibilities, and you see all these channels on YouTube of like dad gamer. What's it like to be a dad gamer? I don't have that much time being a dad gamer. Like all of these people are like, oh, my time has changed and this has changed. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right. Like that's what happens because you have more responsibilities and you start doing stuff. So that's exactly, I just find it funny because they all talk shit back in the day. They're like, oh, I had 4,000 hours in the game. And now they're like, I got 40 hours. That's good, right? It's good time, right? It's like, yeah, it's good, but you don't have time to play the game. So they buy a game for $70. They don't want to put it in their backlog. So they play it for 3 hours. They fall asleep because they're exhausted, right? Kids up, going to work. Then they wake up. They're like, I'm going to put more time into it. Then the next game comes out and they're like, that game looks good. I want to, because they still think. But
I think that's how most games get sold. I don't think I really don't think the majority of people are playing their game.
Oh,
I think they're trying their game.
This is funny because this came out. I posted this the other day, and then Waterbear posted it again earlier today. A developer, right? This is funny. So a developer, indie developer, made a game, and this game. Okay, so I'll bring it up. The indie developer made a game on Steam called Backlog, and your backlog comes to life and tries to kill you. Okay, so it says you fight the games yet you never played. Okay, you're the more you paid, the stronger they are, and they literally are battling their backlog. So as you see this, okay, so you'll see your backlog of stuff. So if you have a shit ton of games, that you have a massive fucking problem because you buy way too many games and you don't play them. So the actual games that are fighting you are higher bosses and whatnot, because if you paid $70 but you never played the actual game, it's gonna be a tough game to fight, right? So I thought this was funny, right? So this is his backlog. This is the guy's backlog. Sea of Thieves. He hasn't played Sea of Thieves. He's played 1 hour and 32 minutes.
Are the prices on the game that show you how much you paid for them?
Yeah, it shows how much you paid for it. Yeah.
So what is this, like in your Steam list? Is that what this is?
Yeah, your backlog of your Steam. Yeah. So all the games in your library.
Does it tell you? Does it assign what your backlog is depending on how long you've had the game for?
It's in your library. Yeah, it's in your library. It keeps track of everything.
That's hilarious.
Right? I think it's pretty funny. So you go up against different when you get power-ups and stuff.
Can you imagine somebody trying to play this who's got like a massive backlog?
Well, it's funny because I said this to Dustin in the stream yesterday, or in Discord yesterday. I was like, you were gonna have a hell of a time if you play this game. He's like, I don't play indies. I'm like, I think you missed the joke, right? Because he buys so many games.
Play indies,
right? He buys so many games. I was like, dude, you wouldn't be able to complete the game because you have so many games. But anyway,
what about that guy? The picture of the guy with all the games stacked on the shelves.
Oh, that was a nice. He had a whole crap ton of games. That was beautiful. That the whole bookshelf. They had just.
Well, have you seen
Generations? Yeah.
Have you seen the Angry Video Game Nerd? Have you seen his wall?
Yeah.
He's got everything, dude, from the beginning of time to now.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Water. Like, he missed the joke. I wasn't making fun of him. It's just he always talks about all the games he buys, and I was like, you're gonna have a hell of a time with this game. He's like, I don't play indie games. I'm like,
I don't think it matters. I think just the game you buy and just sits on the shelf. It's got nothing to do if it's indie or not.
No. He doesn't play indie games. It's an indie game. He doesn't play indie games.
He doesn't play the indie games.
He
doesn't play the indie games about backlog.
No, he only buys full price games that he doesn't play.
Great.
Yeah. AAA full price games. So, all right. Let's get to Q&A. If you guys have a question, put it in a Q in front of your name or in front of your question, and then we'll mark it, and then we'll have a little. He doesn't play any games. Yeah, that's what. That's the joke. That was the joke. He's like, I bought this game. And he's like, I returned the game. I bought this game. I didn't like this game.
It's like a pair of shoes.
It is like a pair of shoes. Yeah. My wife's not like that, but I had a girlfriend like that. She had so many goddamn shoes. I was like, what? You don't have enough time in your life span. You would have to put a pair of shoes on, wear it for 10 minutes, and then switch shoes. Just so you can have. Yeah.
You would have to be Chinese and Buddhist in order to come back in another life to use the rest.
Just to use all your shoes. Yeah. Chopper Eric says, I still own every PlayStation game I have owned from PlayStation 1 until now. That's awesome. Yeah, me and Sarge have all our games. We have every single game.
Yeah, I never sell my games back to GameStop over the years.
I've only turned in one system I've ever owned, and that was the original Xbox. I don't have the original Xbox.
Was Dustin Ears burning? He came into chat.
Yeah, he's like, I have 20 shoes. The Xbox I turned in because
Did you hear the rest of it?
The Xbox 360, was backwards compatible, and I could play the old games. That's the only reason I got rid of my Xbox, the original Xbox. Otherwise, I would still have it.
You got it for the 360. You did a trade-in.
Yeah, I did a trade-in because it was backwards compatible. Only because it was backwards compatible. If it wasn't backwards compatible, I would just kept it and then paid outright. All right, let me see what you guys are. Oh, I don't have any other stories. Apple, while we're waiting for questions to come in, Sarge, Apple has reportedly given up on the Vision Pro headset, and that it doesn't seem like a good thing for VR generally. Like, I love how these people spend
niche.
I love how these people spend hundreds of millions of dollars that someone like us could have told you that it's a niche market. You shouldn't go into it, right? Like, I don't understand. How do these people
have they not?
You got $1 trillion. What do we spend it on? Well, let's
have they not seen
$80 million on a headset no one's going to use?
Yeah, but haven't they seen the last 3 times that VR tried to make a push out?
No.
Every time VR tries to push out, it happens during a bad tech thing. Like right now, chips are expensive. No one can buy hardware, and now VR is just going to fall by the wayside again.
Well, I think it's funny because the Meta Quest 3 went up in price like a week ago because reasons. For some reason, every day I see multiple ads. Now is the greatest time to buy a Meta Quest. No, it's not. It's the worst time. It was the best time before when it was cheaper. You raised the price, you sons of bitches, and now you're marketing it because no one's buying your goddamn headset. So now you're stuck with the old headsets that now cost $150 more than they did before, and no one's buying them. And now you're spending more marketing to get people to go, hey, we're over here. We have a thing. It's $600 now. We're like, stupid. I went to offer up because I was looking for a Meta Quest, right? But now it's $600 and I'm not in the market, but I went to offer up. Person selling one for $250. Like, I just want to get rid of it. I'm like,
I want it out of my house.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I might pick it up. I'm not going to pay $600 for your stupid. They're like, it's mint condition, still in the box. I'll take it. Right. I haven't taken it yet, but it's like,
well, you're just not going to be there.
Well,
it's
right.
not,
Someone
it's not hanging out.
But there'll always be somebody. There'll always be someone just to try to get rid of it. Jesus Christ, Krebsy. Do you have these saved throughout the week and then you just copy pasta it? Like what is happening? There's no man can write that fast. We'll have to mix them in.
He's not a man.
He is a god. He's a god. Let's see. We'll have to mix them in.
That's no man.
Real quick, just enough. Thank you much for the membership. 34 months. It says if Aku gets a letter saying to destroy his physical copy of Crimson Desert, he will comply. He would comply because it says so in the TOS.
What does it say? To destroy your copy?
Yeah, because he always brings it up. He's like the law is if they ask you to destroy, you're supposed to destroy. I'm like, no one's doing that.
I'm sorry. There's a thing in the EULA that says if they ask you to destroy your copy, you're supposed to.
Like if they came over and like yeah, I don't think it's in the EULA, but if they came over and said, hey, you can't keep your game, you don't own that anymore, you have to destroy it. He'd be like, okay, because
it doesn't really say that, does it?
No, I don't think it does. Maybe it does. I know Aku reads it. I've never read the EULA.
Oh, you mean the 15-page one?
Yeah, the 15-page and the 2 font. Right, well, you
know which one? The one you talked about not that long ago was the one where the woman died from a peanut allergy in Disneyland because she signed a EULA from some.
No, because her husband signed a Disney Plus free Disney Plus through his Verizon.
So she couldn't sue.
He couldn't sue. All he was doing was asking to pay for the funeral costs. It was like $15,000 or something like that. Yeah, I don't think it ever happened. I don't think.
Imagine clicking OK and then having that kind of power where you can't even sue anybody anymore because you said okay to something 5 years ago.
Yeah, 2019, and his wife died in, I think it was like 2022, 2023. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. All right, let's take the first question from Krebsy. It says, should Xbox be selling Helix after 12 quarters of being in the red for hardware?
It's not about should they be selling. It's a question of why would I want it? I like my theory. I've been working hard on it. I do believe cloud gaming will be one of the hooks. Otherwise, there's no reason to buy a Helix.
I mean, you guys know where I am. I said that within 6 to 7 years, cloud gaming will be the majority of where games are played. Right? And people thought I was crazy. We got two years down, 5 years to go. Okay, so it will happen. Next question is Alexander Smith says, is it fair to say that they have zero direction? I know he didn't ask this question just now, but it was earlier in the thing. I marked it.
Yeah,
he's talking about Xbox. Xbox. Yeah.
I don't think it's zero direction. I think that pressure was put on. I think that Sarah and Phil had a timeline, and the timeline was running out, and they had to hit some kind of expectation number for Satya Nadella. And when that happened, they got close to the end of the time. They had to do some crazy shit in order to try to boost the numbers, which didn't happen. And then they were let go because they needed somebody else to do it. They were probably given some time to do it. And so now we have.
I think a little bit differently, but so what I think happened is basically what you're saying. And Phil wanted to do it, and Nadell was like, "No, we're doing this. This is what we're doing." And he's like, "Fine, then I quit." Right? There was one thing that Asha Sharma said, that she spent time with Phil Spencer for a couple months leading up to her taking over. Right? She said she's been hanging out with him and whatnot. I think, and again, this is just my speculation, that he's like, he wanted to do all this stuff, and I just couldn't deal, so I'm out. Right? That's what Phil basically. Right? So she's like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. So now when she came in, she's a new person and was like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. And Nadell's like, all right, fine. Right? Like he kind of like gave it up a little bit to be like, we'll do it your way for now. Right? And we'll see what happens, because he didn't want to do, like, he was pushing, I believe he was pushing Phil and Sarah to do the stuff. Okay. Like you said, timeline didn't work out. Phil was like, I'm fucking done, because this is pointless. You're taking it and you're destroying the brand, because change to Microsoft, raise the price, no exclusives, all the stuff, right? Complete opposite of what Phil wanted to do. And now she's coming in.
Over the years, you heard Phil what he wanted. You've heard Phil's whole philosophy on everything, and everything that was happening in those last year, the last 2 years, not Phil.
Yeah, that's what I believe. The 4, because when he was on the stage and he looked uncomfortable saying it's just the 4. But obviously it's 13. There's like 13, 14 games, right? Just the 4, right? That didn't seem like it was Phil. Now, obviously, it's hindsight's 2020, right? Like, seeing it now, thinking about back then when Phil said it, you're like, yeah, something's off, type of thing. So I think that she has a leeway because she's new, she's young, she's vibrant. I don't mean that in like her looks.
And she doesn't stay in a position for more than 3 years.
Right. She's TikTok brain. You know what I mean? Like, let's move the stuff, let's shape it up, get people excited again. Like, this is Xbox, you know. Oh, they gave everyone emails now. I don't know if you heard this. So to get everyone together, they got rid of the commercial emails.
Yeah, at Xbox.
Yeah, now they have at Xbox and they have at Microsoft or whatever. So
optics must be a big deal for them, huh?
Well, it is. That's why they made her play video games. Right? Optics is huge. Yeah.
Invent her own account. Make sure she played some games. We all know she lied. Sure. Optics must be really big on them, huh?
Next one, Altered says, what game will Star Wars crossover next? Want to make a death poll? Let's see. What do they make? It's got to be another brand that they put themselves into. What would it be? I got it. Mine is going to be home improvement simulator. Right? Is that what it's called? Where you go in and renovate simulator? It's going to be one of those games, like, where they're going to team up with Star Wars, but you're going to decorate and change, like, Luke's house, or you're going to change where Leia was on, Andor, or not Andor. Jesus Christ,
Naboo.
my brain. Yeah, no, not Naboo. That's
Alderaan.
Alderaan, thank you. Right, like, you change that stuff. So that's my thing. They're going to put it into like build simulator or some shit like that. Crossover.
I think probably Super Smash Brothers with Star Wars characters. That's easy.
Well, they already have that. It's Brawlers. They already have that.
They have Brawlers out?
Yeah, Brawlers. La Brawler, whatever the hell it is.
See how I'm out of the loop already.
Yep. Star Wars dating sim.
Actually, you can probably go along with that one. Never mind dating sim, Krebs. You probably just do Star Wars Sims.
Oh, yeah. Star Wars Sims. Yeah. There you go. Next one, it says, Altern, I'm in the market for a new t-shirt. Where can I get one? You have 30. You can get it right in the link down in the description below. I appreciate you can get this one. The plan is the plan until it's not the plan, or you can get the no pre-order, no day one. Now, there is a better copy of the one that he has, because that was from the older people that were making the shirts that fucked it up. So, but the link's in the description down below. It should be. Anyway, you can also support by downloading the music as well. Not paid. Altern's not paid. Altern says, what will Friday's stream be about? I think we're going to cover Legendary Gaming's channel. He did a video yesterday, and I think we might watch John Oliver has an AI video that he posted about AI on HBO. I'm not a real big fan of John Oliver, but I thought the topic that he did with AI, I posted it in the Discord. We might watch that. And I don't know, whatever else. It's not going to be like a traditional show. Like, I don't have anything like planned. So like structured. So we're gonna watch. We're definitely watching Legendary drops, and we might watch something else and bullshit. Sort of like what we do every morning, but more loose. Krebsy says, should Arrowhead still be using the excuse that they are too successful for the current state of Helldivers and their dumb decisions? Yeah, I mean, I think they bent the knee after year one. Year one was the perfect opportunity for them because they didn't have to do roadmaps. They didn't have to do anything. Everything was a surprise. Everything was just, they were in a perfect spot. Now they're just like every other game.
Their cog in the wheel.
Yeah, now they're just, here's our roadmap. Here's the thing. This is how we make more money. Here's the war bond. Fix the thing. Buff the thing. Nerf the thing.
And that's because they were left to their own devices. They got a random hit on their hands because people just liked the game, and then they tried to corpo fight it immediately afterwards.
Yeah. Krebsy says, how are they making Battlefield movie? Battlefield doesn't really have characters like COD. So Prince, Ghost, etc. Will Michael B. Jordan be playing a generic Joe Smith in Battlefield? They could do the Battlefield Bad Company storyline,
which is also a stolen script from
it's a stolen script. First of all, they shouldn't make a Battlefield movie. Stupid. Like,
you've damaged the brand. Why do you want to damage it more? Why don't you just make a good game first and then make a movie?
Don't make a Battlefield movie. And I'm not going to watch it because I don't care. And if you do make one, please make it better than Borderlands. Okay? Make it better than Borderlands. Next one is, how did it take 12 quarters of being in the red for Phil and Sarah to be fired? If you or I lead a division and had performance, we'd be gone in 3 to 6 quarters. Oh, for sure. As Sarge said earlier, I think he kind of,
they were on a timeline.
There was a timetable. Yeah. It wasn't about 3 to 6 month timetable. It was you have 4 years to do this, right? TikTok, get to it. What do you need? Oh, you need Activision? All right. $70 billion. Okay, there you go. Right. But Satya was like, I'm changing the plan. You don't have 4 years anymore. You have 13 months.
Well, because you see how there was a radical change in that.
Radical change. Yeah. It was a radical change. It went from, this is what we're doing, to 4 games, 5 games, 8 games, 12 games. Now we're everywhere. Everything's an Xbox. It was just weird the last 2 years.
Well, listen, the only thing you were going to get marketing wise from everything's an Xbox is you want subscriptions. That's all that was. You weren't trying to push first party titles. You were trying to push subscriptions. That was all it is.
Krebsy says, did you read over the Insider Gaming article going over the games releasing in May? It's a shitload. I did not.
Insider Gaming. All right.
Is that the one? Hold on. Is that the one? I can bring it up. Is it the bottom? Let's see. That is. Yeah, I got it. There you go. So here's the list. May of 2026 video game releases, full schedule, and the biggest games. Did you hear that James Bond could be a Game of the Year contender, is what one person said. So here's May 1st.
I'm sorry. You're coming out the same year as Grand Theft Auto. You think you're a Game of the Year contender?
Hey, contender. Just got to be one of the 6. Doesn't mean it's going to win.
Yeah, all right.
Just get nominated. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just tomorrow. Okay. Then May 4th, you got 1, 2, 3. Right. Then May 5th, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you have May 6th, 1, 2.
A lot of early accesses, bro.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. 60 games are only halfway through the goddamn month. Holy Christ. I don't even need to read the rest.
That's a lot, bro.
This is just May.
That's a lot. I would need a week to go through that all.
Yeah.
As a homework assignment, I would need a week to go through that all.
60 games, just halfway.
I would narrow it down between real-time strategy, RPGs, shoot 'em ups. Gotta narrow that list down a little bit.
Clip says, "Hey, me and 30 have the same shirt now. Where can I get that shirt?" I already said it. You can get that shirt on the same store.
He was in the head. He was hitting the head.
Yeah, same shirt. The plan's the plan until it's not the plan. Yeah, it's a good shirt. It's very comfortable. Very comfortable. I didn't know that before.
Is it wash my car with it comfortable?
Yeah, it is. It's like a jersey knit type of. Yeah, it's very comfortable. Yeah, it's very breathable. It's nice. I got the V-neck though. I don't like the crew neck stuff. So you can get them in many different colors. I appreciate you guys doing stuff like that. Chopper Eric says, "What's going on? What's going to happen with the next Xbox when people figure out you can't install Steam onto it? They have not given a straight answer to the folks one way or another yet. They're just going to try to lead you on."
Yep.
I mean, they did put
cloud gaming.
They did put 4K on the box. Right?
Cloud gaming,
and then said up to 120 frames.
Up to a lot.
Yeah. So
the little bird was chirping.
Jesse Mack says, "What if Star Wars Starfighter were bomb in the box office? Then what Disney would do with Star Wars after Starfighter? Make Heir to the Empire to earn the trust of even attention back." There's rumors that's the way they're going with it. Right now, there's rumors of saying that they're going to do basically Timothy Zahn's, right? And this is the lead up. So Ahsoka season 2 is supposed to introduce something, and then they're fighting. Supposedly, Jon Favreau's movie was supposed to be season 4 was supposed to be that. It was supposed to start the Empire, right? The Heir to the Empire. But now that's changed. So now they're going with Ahsoka to lead into that thing. Supposedly. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You don't need to lead dick to dick. You just need to call Timothy Zahn and say, "We're doing your books, buddy." That's it. That's it.
Yeah, but then that would admit they fucked up even more, right?
Not they. They didn't fuck up. She fucked up.
Well,
there's no they. No, there's no they.
No, there's still there.
Her and she. She fucked it up.
Well,
don't start spreading rumors.
No, Filoni's still there. Filoni's the head.
I'm aware.
He was one of the
orbiters of Satan are there. I told you that already. They're still there.
So, well, I'll tell you this, Jesse. 2 things, right? They have to do 2 things before they win me back. And the roadmap of Star Wars doesn't look good, right? Because if this movie sucks, strike 1 again. If season 2 of Ahsoka is supposed to come out later this year, that could be strike 2. It could be attempt number 1. And then Starfighter comes out. It could be good. It could be bad. But if it's good, then they win me over. And then I'll be like, okay, I'll watch your stuff again. Right? They got to win me back. Travis says, "Sarge, where's my Warhammer Battlefield? And why are the Injustice 3 was leaked? Any DC characters you'd like to see?" I don't think Sarge has ever played the Injustice.
I know what it is, though. I've always liked the original Justice League with a few extra guys added. I don't like all the offshoots, like not the original 5. I'm talking about like the other, like Hawkman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter.
You like the old school Justice League that we used to watch as kids.
Yeah, but there's the added guys.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
That was a good show. Oh, did you see? This has nothing to do with the question.
And for the Battlefield thing, is Saber's busy right now. When Saber's not busy anymore, you'll get your Warhammer Battlefield.
So they're making a Scooby-Doo.
Live
action.
I got into a fight with somebody already over that shit. Here's how the fight started. They're making a Scooby-Doo movie or television series, and they go, but they're all white. And I go. Yeah. And I said to him, I said, they are white.
They are right.
They are white.
Yeah.
That's not diverse enough. I said, okay, so how about this? How about I make Fat Albert, but I make Fat Albert with all white kids? Is that good?
And he's got to be anorexic then, right?
No.
Fat Albert's got to be anorexic.
Fat hillbilly. We do Fat Albert, but they're all white kids.
You can't fat shame.
Right? Can we do that? No, you can't. Just shut the fuck up, man. Just stop.
Stop with your diversification of fucking everything, bro.
Well, if you notice, they didn't put Scooby-Doo there. So there's still a chance
because they haven't decided whether or not they're going to train a dog or use CGI.
Well, they could make him a completely different color or style of dog.
They'll make the dog black. That's what they'll do. They'll make Scooby black.
And gay.
That's what they'll do.
Yeah.
Black and gay.
Yeah, black
Even
and
better.
gay. Yeah.
Even better.
Waterbear says, question. If they came to your house, 30, and told you to destroy all your physical copies, all your games you haven't played in 30 days, what do you do? Well, first, they wouldn't make it into my house.
Yeah, he's got to get off my porch, otherwise he gets a bullet in his head.
Yeah, they wouldn't make it into my house, Water. But if I'll play along, they're in my house and they look at my collection and they say, you have to get rid of anything you haven't played in 30 days. That's when I take the I don't know, what do I have around my guitar, and I'll smash it over their head, and then I kick them in the ass and then say, get the fuck out, get out, because I don't want to kill anybody. I just scare them off a little bit. Then I take my dog Thor, and then we let him go, and then they run out. I said, there's my check-in. Come back in 30 days. Check back in. Okay. That's what I would do.
Imagine taking something so just innocent as a Scooby-Doo thing and arguing over what there's no ethnic.
I think people like that though, like saying, well, they're all white. I think people just say it just to see if they can. There was a guy that said that because somebody said that there's a Hulk Hogan documentary out, right? And someone said Hulk Hogan's one of the most influential, influential wrestlers of all time. But someone commented. No, someone says I disagree. Undertaker and Steve Austin are more influential. And I wrote to him and said, Undertaker himself said that Hulk Hogan was the biggest influence of wrestling himself. So you're saying that this man is the most influential thing, and the guy that you think is the most influential said that Hulk Hogan's influential. And he's like, oh, I was just saying that to fucking troll. And that is the reason I think everyone just says shit, because there's nothing. They're anonymous. They can say whatever else. There's no consequences. Yeah, there's no consequences. So people just say shit. Remember when we used to say stuff like that in school? We just say something funny and we're like, oh, it would be funny with this, right? And you're like, yeah, you just laugh between your friends. Well, now they could just say it to the internet and everyone sees the stupidity of what they say. And they're like, oh, it's pretty funny. That's what it is. But now it's the internet. So everyone just says stupid shit to say who can say the stupidest shit. Remember, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader was a TV show. Now it's how stupid of a thing can you say on the internet? That's the TV show.
But I've been watching all the people that we've seen over the last few years who have caused problems and are now going to jail. And I just comment on the posts. I comment I go, yep, jail. Next. And I go to the next one and I go, found guilty. Jail. Next. And I just keep commenting. I go down the whole list. Like the Uber girl. Yeah, she's going to jail. 8 years.
Have you heard about the JP Morgan girl?
JP Morgan girl? No, I don't know about the JP Morgan girl.
JP Morgan girl.
I know the Uber Eats girl. 8 years.
No, JP Morgan girl.
Have a nice day.
Real quick, let me read this. Is your music going to disappear if I don't check in after 30 days? Not that I'm aware of. Yeah. I think you could download it and play it and buy it, and you could do whatever you want. You can make as many copies and hand them out to your friends as you want. Yeah, just hand them out on the street and say, hey, listen to this. I don't care what you do with it.
I miss the days of the guy handing out CDs.
Go to Vegas.
Check out my band. Check out my band. You don't remember that?
Yeah, they still do it. They have a QR code now, and you have to scan the QR code.
Scan the QR code.
Yeah.
They have a card with a QR code, and I'm like, why are you doing a card? Why don't you just get a website and just put the QR code on the website?
Just wear the shirt and say, listen to my music.
Scan my shirt. Yeah.
You scan my shirt. QR code. Right. So the JP Morgan girl. So apparently there's some high end. I don't know the full story, but she took advantage of an Indian guy that was married and made him her bitch, like a sex slave. Right. It's starting to go around the internet.
Hang on. She made him her sex slave.
Yes.
Turned him. She turned him into the submissive.
Forced him instead of he said anything. Yeah, and forced instead if you say anything, I'll ruin your life or whatever. Blah blah blah.
Interesting. Go ahead.
So it's this whole. I just started reading it before the stream started. I was like, what the hell? And did you also see in other news, Jamiroquai, the guy that from the band Jamiroquai, the guy that wore that giant hat or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He comes out that because he used to date Winona Ryder back in the day.
Winona
Okay.
Ryder, yeah.
And he was complaining because when he was 35 and he was dating her, she was so horny. Okay. And all she wanted to do was have sex. So he had to break up with her. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like,
you're believe that for a moment.
I was like, wait, it was like you're a musician. You have a celebrity that at her time she was smoking hot, right? And he's like, yeah, she just wanted to have sex all the time. And I'm like, bro, what is
rough?
What is wrong with you? He's like, it just was exhausting.
I only wanted to be held.
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about? I want to work at JP Morgan. I mean, I think the position's open now. I don't think she works there anymore, but the position's open.
Did she get busted or did he get busted?
Well, I don't know. I think
send me the article.
Yeah, I'll send you the article. She is apparently here. Let me see if I can find it. It's
just send me the article.
It's pretty crazy. I was like, what is this woman? Yeah, the JP Morgan. I was like, who? What? What's happening right now?
What's his face? What's the other guy that went to India or Thailand or whatever? He went to jail. He's going to jail for 2 years. He's going.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Soja.
No, you're talking about the guy who's. You're talking about the kid. I didn't know about it. You're talking about the kid that was a
he's filming himself doing crazy stuff in Thailand or China or something.
Yeah.
No, it was South Korea. I think it was Korea.
Yeah, my chat had to fill me in. I didn't know who the guy was.
They sentenced him to a year in jail. Then he appealed, and then the appeal court says, "No, you're staying for 2 now." Next.
Let's see, JP Morgan.
Yeah. He's only supposed to go for a year, Mo. Then he talked shit, went to appeal. Now he got 2. Next.
Oh, I spelled Morgan wrong.
Well, the good news, Mo, is he'll have a lot to talk about when he's out. He can make all the videos he wants.
Director accused. Okay, so New York Post exclusive bombshell X harassment suit against Laura Horjandi. JP Morgan branded complete fabrication as John Doe unmasked. Is this an update?
It sounds like it might be fake, bro.
It might be. The former JP Morgan staffer, whose sources identified, has been accused of making fabricated sexual harassment claims against the high-ranking executive at the bank. So she didn't do it, but it was going around the internet. It was going around the internet. She made him a sex slave, and I was like, what is happening?
It sounds like the movie plot from Disclosure. You remember Disclosure?
Oh wait, this is a different. Yeah, this is her. Yeah. So this is what she looks like.
You don't remember Disclosure?
I remember Disclosure, yeah. Right. So it said he filed an internal complaint in May of 2025, allegedly race gender-based harassment, abuse of power before trying to negotiate a payoff of the into millions and have completed. Right. So this girl.
Oh, got crazy eyes, bro.
So you think it's real? Do you think it's real?
Look at the crazy eyes, bro.
Yeah. So there was an investigation. So apparently, I don't know. People familiar with the matter reported the managing director, Renee, was also supervising another managing director. The colleague described Renee as a former basketball player, Rutgers graduate, socially awkward, but someone met requirements and remained at the bank. Was tarnished to complete the factual.
Yeah, but if she turned the Indian guy into a submissive, that means she smelled blood in the water and then she took advantage of him. Like, I'm not blaming him or her. I'm just saying that some women can read a guy. You know what I mean? And so if she read him and took advantage, that's not new. You know, I know a lot of guys who meet a girl who's like that and they fall in love with her, and after like 2 years they're like, help me out, get me out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I just thought it was funny because I saw those two stories like back to back, the Winona Ryder one and that one. I was like, what's happening? I was like, why are these men bunch of pussies? They're like, I'm being taken advantage of. This girl just wanted to have sex with me.
I think that if the movie Disclosure came out now,
You couldn't do it.
People's
You couldn't
heads
do
would
it.
roll. People's
couldn't do
heads
it.
would roll.
You can. I don't even think you could do. What was that other one with the single white female? You couldn't do that one now either. Yeah.
Nope.
One more thing.
We'd have to start up a statement with believe all men. If you saw that movie out now.
Yeah. Oh, look, see, here's another. Oh, it's PSVR.
Are we done with the questions? You're off on a tangent. Are we off on the question?
We're going down the rabbit hole. All right.
Rabbit hole. What was there? One question left, or that was
no
it?
question. That's it. We're done with the questions. All right, Chad.
Don't start going down the rabbit hole now.
We'll be back tomorrow for the extra stream that you guys got for Friday. I'll be live between 10 and 11. I'll let you guys know. I'll post it in the Discord. We'll post it up on the social media sites as well. What is this? This is okay. So yeah, all right. Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. Generation X Gaming, episode 487 is in the can. We do appreciate you very much for coming out, hanging out with us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Do appreciate you very much. We do a live show Monday through Thursday called The Daily Grind right here on 30 NSG. And we also do this podcast 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from games.